a foundation. Like this team just didn't happen, right? This was constructed like a foundation, especially after early in the season when they kind of, they suffered a little bit. They didn't look like a team that was going to be in the Super Bowl. So I thought today we would look at the construction and a list of things that you think created the evolution of a Super Bowl team with the Philadelphia Eagles. And I can tell you that right now, in my mind, there's nobody else that you can put at number one but Saquon Barkley, who's had a season for the ages. Like, you can't just ignore a season for the ages. So he's got to be considered the number one reason why the Eagles are. But I got a surprise for number two. Maybe it's not a surprise. For me, the second most important thing with the evolution of the Philadelphia Eagles has been Vic Fangio. Now, am I rating him too high? I don't think so, because it's the defense, I think, that really has been the backbone of this team. He created a defense that took a while to get together, but once it got together, good Lord. And you can say, well, they added this guy, they added this guy, but you know what? That defensive coordinator has to get a lot of credit for molding the Quinyon Mitchells and the Cooper DeJeans of the world and the Nolan Smiths of the world, or anybody else, like even Jalen Carter, as good as he is, as pedigreed as he is, that guy had to break through something to play as many snaps as he did. And I think it's because of how Fangio introduced confidence in the guy. And then you get to Zach Bond. So, you can go down the list of individual things. But for me, the top two things that have been created the evolution of a Super Bowl team with the Philadelphia Eagles has been Saquon Barkley and Vic Fangio. And for me, end of story. And we're going to break it down even further than that, obviously. But Bill, and Bill Calrollo's here, Ray Dunn is here. Hi, guys. When I say that those two things, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's hard to argue when you look at how this team evolved from last year to this year to say Saquon Barkley and Vic Fangio should be 1 and 2. And I don't know if I disagree with you on where they're ranked, but I think you could even go back farther than what just occurred with those two, not even hires. One was a signing, one was a hire. And back to what Howie Roseman did 2 years ago at the NFL draft and then this past year at the NFL draft, because he really rebuilt that defense, adding young talent in 2 seasons. We all know he got Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, and Jalix Hunt this year, and he got Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith last year. So as good of a job as Vic Fangio has done, what was the first thing Vic Fangio told us at his introductory press conference? What makes a good defense? He said good players. And I think Howie Roseman has given him good players. Now, it helped that Fangio was able to convert Zach Bond from an outside linebacker to an inside linebacker. He was able to do what you said, get these players playing at the top of their level. But for me, I think number one, it's got to be Howie. I got to put Howie at the top because last year he failed this defense. There was a severe lack of personnel on the defensive side of the ball. This year, every single position you could argue has a Pro Bowl caliber player. And what he did with the secondary, we're going into this game against the Chiefs, not James Bradbury with Quinyon Mitchell, not TJ Edwards, who had a good season, but Zach Bond, not Linval Joseph and the Ndamukong Suh, but Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Milton Williams, even Maro Ajomo. What he's been able to do to turn over the roster on the defensive side of the football has been an absolute masterclass.
All right, there's one thing, and I agree that he's picked some good players, but there's a good player. Supposedly, these are good players that are drafted all the time, right? They've done their homework on them, they draft them, and for reasons like for some reason they don't turn out to be right away what their draft status was. So to me, like I know Quinyon Mitchell came in as a really good player, and Cooper DeJean, they had reputations. But it's how you adapt them into the NFL, I think, because Nolan Smith really took a while. Like he did, yeah. And he had a pedigree. Like Nakobe Dean, he took a while as well. He had a pedigree. So I think you almost have to go half and half. Yeah, okay. Howie brought in good players, but how did we know that they were a good player until Vic Fangio got him in his system?
It's definitely a good point. I mean, especially you talk about the guys who had pedigree. Well, look at a guy like a Zach Baun who didn't have that pedigree coming here. And not only has he turned into a starter, he's turned into a Defensive Player of the Year finalist, which is just mind-blowing. And Fangio did take a 30th-ranked defense to number 1. So it's hard to argue that Fangio should be up there. You know, and I could say another one. I mean, I could throw out another one, and that would be the decision. People are going to laugh at this, but the decision to keep Sirianni. And I'm not. This is not a Sirianni love. This is not Sirianni love.
I'm so.
But where would this franchise have been if they had to go through the transition of bringing on a new coach, a new coaching staff? They may not be at the Super Bowl.
You
man.
never know, though. I mean, that's intangible. They may have picked the right coach. You can't say that they wouldn't have picked the right coach because you do love Sirianni. So on that note, let me just, I'm glad you brought that up. It's a perfect segue. See, we have natural segues here on the Mike Missanelli Show, which makes it a very good show. And I have no personal stake in that comment. But in the Philadelphia Inquirer today, there's a story that is breaking down this game. One of the planks of the story in bold-faced type reads the following. How will Kansas City cope with the indomitable genius of Nick Sirianni?
Mike, I thought it was a joke when I read it.
I think we all did.
I thought
it was a sarcastic
and you know me,
line.
I'm the biggest Sirianni guy going.
Right, from a snarky columnist. But instead, I'll just read it further. If there is one thing Sirianni is known for, it is his mastery of game preparation and his keen sense of how to attack an opponent. And then he goes on to cite some statistics. And these are important statistics. He has won all 4 season openers in his career. He has won all 4 games after his regular season bye week. His teams dominated the 2022 divisional round coming off a bye. All told, he is 9-1 in those situations where he has time to prepare, including a 38-35 loss to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl where the Eagles' offense was nearly perfect. So his point here is Sirianni, when he has time to prepare, slays teams, and he equates that with the term of indomitable genius. Your thoughts, Bill?
I will say this. I have expressed a lot of Sirianni love on this show, as everyone who listens knows. I'm not sure I've ever uttered the word genius when referring to Nick Sirianni. That's why
I'm the smartest coach in the world.
That's why I thought it was sarcastic, because I think Sirianni does a lot of things great. You know that. I think he's built a great culture here. But indomitable genius, I'm at a loss for words. I mean, I didn't write the article. People out there probably like Bill wrote it.
Listen, I got to be honest. He's done a good job. I told you, my eyes were wide open this year. He got the team to the Super Bowl. I'm in. I never looked at him, and the word genius never popped up when I look at him. Well, never did that word come up.
People in the YouTube chat are already saying this was a troll article. It was not a troll article.
That's the beauty of it. All right, yeah, there's a big show today. We got Tory Smith coming on at 12:35. He's played in 2 Super Bowls. Got 2 rings, the one with the Eagles. We'll talk about the preparation these 2 weeks that these teams go through. And we are giving away another prize today. It's a pair of Luke Bryan tickets. Luke Bryan, the country star. I know there's a lot of fans of Luke Bryan out there, country fans. And he's coming Friday, June 6th. He'll be at the Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. For another chance to win tickets, you can go to our contest page at 975thefanatic.com. Tickets go on sale tomorrow. Ticketmaster, pre-sales happening today until 10 p.m. with the password OCTAVE. OCTAVE. Octave.
All right.
Now, here's how we're going to do it. We're going to play Gimme 3 today. I'm going to give you the college of a player that a player played for on both rosters, the Eagles and the Chiefs. If we give you approval that that's a good Gimme 3, you're a contender for the tickets.
This guy say whatever comes to mind?
Whatever comes to mind. And we go, if it's clever, if it's good, we go, okay, that's your contender.
Like if you said Temple, and I responded Ray Dunn, John Kincade.
Right, you could go to Ray Dunn. You don't have to go to sports thing. You could go to something. You can with Temple. Wait, you want to go to Bill Cosby? I don't know if you want to do that, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, Bill Colarulo, law school.
So it's wide open for your identity with that particular college, which may be at the particular state or whatever. All right, is that good enough for you?
Yeah, I think it'll be fun.
All right.
And good tickets. Luke Bryan's a big guy.
Yes, 610-632-0975. And also on the other side, a clarification on whether Bill's had proper usage when he said farther instead of further.
Well, I'm usually good at that, so I'm curious if I said it the wrong way.
I don't think you were very good at it. But
farther is a distance. Further is diving deeper into something.
All right. 610-632-0975. It's the Mike Missanelli Show. Back after this.
Next week, the real and inside story on the big game and the Big Easy. Listen all day, every day for every angle and every storyline on the Birds' quest for championship. Kincade and Salciunas, 6 to 10 a.m. Mike Missanelli, 10 until 2. And the best show ever from 2 until 6. Smart, intelligent conversation you need to hear. Philadelphia's source for breaking news and the best Birds coverage. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
See DallasStillSucks.com for details.
Gary Barbera Jeeps are super cheap during Super Cheap Jeeps Week.
Hello.
Right, Superbirds Coach Nick?
Boy, I guess.
Jeeps cheap. Gary Barbera's making the Big Easy Big Game playoff payoff. Jeep Grand Cherokees.
Yo.
16,666. And that's why Super Coach Nick picks Barbera.
This is Coach Sirianni. Is Barbera the best?
Boy, I guess.
Or drive a super discounted Barbera Ram like our man Brandon Graham.
Boy, I guess.
Barbera's got Big Easy credit.
Philadelphia's credit connection.
And super cheap Jeep Grand Cherokees.
A crazy 16,666.
Tell him, Superbirds Coach Nick.
Barbera the best?
Boy, I guess.
Jeep Grand Cherokee 16,666. Well qualified class.
Hello, yeah.
DallasStillSucks.com.
Barbera.
Gary Barbera's super goal to stay in control of the most Jeeps sold.
16,666.
Boom shakalaka.
Jeeps cheap.
Super cheap.
Is Barbera the best?
Hang on, you tell him, Brandon Graham.
Boy, I guess.
Go
Birds.
I know, yeah. DallasStillSucks.com.
Hey guys, Andrew. Super Bowl 59. One game, two teams, endless possibilities. And there's no better way to make every play more exciting than with FanDuel Sportsbook in partnership with Valley Forge. Whether you're predicting the first touchdown, who'll take home the MVP trophy, or even the coin toss, FanDuel makes it easy to place your bets and feel the thrill of every moment. With live betting all game long, you can jump into the action, adjust your bets, and ride the wave of excitement from kickoff to the final whistle. Plus, to make the Super Bowl even sweeter, new customers can score $200 when you make your first bet. Just place a $5 bet, and if you win, you'll get $200 in bonus bets. Download the app or head to FanDuel.com/fanatic. That's FanDuel.com/fanatic and bet with FanDuel, the official partner of Super Bowl 59.
21 plus and present in Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you
who is he?
Hello.
Your mind works in a very interesting way.
Welcome back into the Mike Missanelli Show. It's 10:18. Counting down the days to Super Bowl Sunday. I think we're at 10 days, Ray. 10 days to go. Correct. 10 days to go. We got a great show today. Mike's grabbing coffee right now. I'll be here any second. But we got Tory Smith coming up at 12:25. Now, Tory Smith's going to be able to give us a unique perspective because he went to the Super Bowl twice. He was there with the Ravens and then obviously there with the Philadelphia Eagles in that 2017 season. So I'm curious to hear from him about how you prepare differently that second time, kind of knowing what to expect, because there's a lot of players on this Philadelphia Eagles team who were there 2 years ago. So they go into it with eyes wide open because it's not an easy week. But we're also playing Give Me 3 today for Luke Bryan tickets. Mike's going to give you a college that an Eagles or a Chiefs player went to, and then you just got to give us 3 things that come to mind, and if we think they're adequate, you'll go into the running for the Luke Bryan tickets. And Mike gave you his reasons for why he thinks this team evolved to a Super Bowl contender, Mike.
I'm going to give you more right now, okay? The third biggest thing, I got Saquon Fangio. The third biggest thing for me was the transaction and the transformative transition after the bye, during the bye. Because during the bye, we know 2 things. Sirianni powwow with the quarterback. The offensive line had gone in to plea that they run the ball more. Third most important thing that happened this year, because it defined what they would do for the rest of the year, Bill. You're not buying it?
So I there's a part of me that also wants to take that a little bit further. You see what I did there? Not farther, further.
Yeah, that's the correct.
Yeah, it was also, and someone texted me this on my personal phone. Sirianni's change in his demeanor as well after the bye week. It wasn't just kind of him reconnecting with the quarterback, them deciding to go run heavy. I do think that Nick Sirianni pulled back a little bit. I mean, after the Cleveland Browns game where he's jawing at the fans and he brought his kids, his personality has changed.
That's on my list, but it's way down.
Yeah, but he has changed. He evolved as the year went on.
See, this is beautiful about you. You think that Sirianni, that part goes higher than the actual transition that they made.
Hell yeah.
But like Sirianni's transformation is actually more important than the actual manner, the manner of transition that made them play differently.
I wouldn't say it's more important. I kind of
so
put them,
revealing about you.
I kind of put them together a little bit. I kind of put them together because I had that.
Sirianni's steady hand, Ray. It wasn't exactly what they did.
Well, let me give you another one that happened after the bye.
Go ahead.
That doesn't have anything to do with Sirianni. Jalen Hurts fixed the turnover issue after the bye.
Well, that's part of the transition that I spoke of.
Yeah, and you're right, leaning more on the run.
The difference that happened at bye time.
Because now, since the bye week, all we've seen is him protect the football. The Eagles haven't lost the turnover battle 12 out of 13 straight games with Jalen Hurts as the quarterback.
Yep.
They're now a plus 21 on the season. You've heard the old cliches. I mean, you win the turnover battle in the NFL, you're going to win a lot of football games. And the fact that the Eagles made that transition, and maybe you're right, maybe it was going more with the run-heavy attack, that's got to be up there. I mean, that's got to be up there. I don't know. You put Fangio as 2, Saquon signing as number 1.
Saquon signing, not the signing, the performance of Saquon. Now, we like the signing. We know they signed him. The performance, to me, carried this football team. So he's number 1. Fangio's 2. The transition of how they played, which did not occur at the start of the year, it didn't occur until 4 games in, to me is the third most important thing. And here's the fourth most important thing. And this is a guy. Bond.
Huge, man.
Bond is number 4 as we continue to go down the list. The question is, will I have inner excellence on this list?
No, I don't think you will.
610-632-0975 is how you climb in. Luke Bryan tickets. Give me 3 we're playing for Luke Bryan tickets. How many people are Luke fans out there? Luke Bryan. You know, even Luke Bryan.
I'm not a huge.
You go. He's the
country
one that's
guy.
married to Gwen Stefani.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know the difference between.
That's the wrong country legend,
Yeah.
man. Come on.
I'm not a huge country guy, but I know there are a lot of people who are.
Yes.
And our sister
especially
station,
our listening audience.
92.5, our sister station, a lot of country listeners, obviously.
That is correct. Since it's a country station, they play country music.
Correct.
There would be a lot of country.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. We're back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Looking at the rematch, I'm ready done with this Fanatic Sports Update. 2 years later, it's the Eagles and Chiefs matching up once more in the Super Bowl. While some of the core names remain the same, the Eagles return less than half of the roster that fell 3 points shy of the Chiefs in the Super Bowl 57. As we continue to look at the matchup and, of course, the merits of which of those Eagles teams might be better, head coach Nick Sirianni said he learned a few things from that first Super Bowl appearance.
We have notes that we're going through and that we've been going through, a couple tweaks here and there, and a couple things that will stay the same. But, of course, anytime you go through any situation like that, you take notes like that.
Take notes and start to prepare. And today, the Eagles return to the practice field to prepare for Super Bowl 59. 10 days away. Still a ways to go, people, as we get you ready for Eagles and Chiefs down in New Orleans. Last night, the 76ers won their fourth game in a row with a 117-104 win over the Kings behind 30 points from Tyrese Maxey. And the Flyers lost 5-0 to the Devils. This update is brought to you by Jackson Hewitt. It matters who does your taxes. Want expert tax prep? Jackson Hewitt will give you $100 to switch. Limited time offer for new clients, participating locations, only terms at jacksonhewitt.com. I'm Ray Dunn, the home of the 76ers and the Flyers. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Not only can you listen to The Fanatic, but you can also
30. Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic. The people that are hanging on the grammar lesson for today. Bill, how did you use farther? I think they can go even far. I think you can go even farther than that.
Well, I guess when you're talking about like diving deep into a subject or like you're going to analyze something, you would say, well, let's dive further into X, Y, or Z, right?
Yeah.
But if you're talking about a distance, like, is flying to New Orleans farther than flying to Florida?
Yeah, right, but you didn't use it that way. So
I think I said the Eagles can go farther. See, I think with the Eagles, if you're talking about how far they could go.
You weren't talking about a specific distance, though. You were talking about a figurative or metaphorical distance. When you do that, it's further. And when you do the other thing, it's farther. Like the bar down is 10 miles down the street. And you're, no, it's farther than that.
Farther than that.
Yeah, but otherwise it would be further. See, Ray knows that because that was probably an SAT question. Right, Ray?
Of course.
Yeah,
do that one right
reading
away.
comprehension.
I usually get that one.
That one down.
Well, let me ask Ray with his 1500 SAT. So I usually get that one right. The further, I think, is an easier one to understand. The affect and effect, I always struggle with.
Yeah, that's why you just go with impact.
That's a good one, Ray. See, that's why he's so smart.
Why make things more complicated?
Really? Do you understand the difference between affect and effect?
Yeah. Something can affect, that would be the affect. Like, the rush can affect Jalen Hurts passing. That would be affect.
Impact is passing.
Yeah, I'm going with impact, Ray. I'm with you.
Yeah, it would be affect.
I'm more confused.
The effect of something is different. The effect of him running the ball 25 times a game led him to be injured.
So affect is a verb, effect is a noun? You could say?
The way that I always get it for myself is cause and effect.
Yes.
What's affected versus how you affect. Yeah, that's the way it works in my brain. I understand as I'm saying it out loud. It wouldn't make sense for someone that doesn't operate inside my four walls up here.
I think we're more confused now.
No, we're not more confused. You're more confused because there's some brains that just won't get it.
Well, you've affected me with your analysis. Was that it? Did I use it correctly?
Yes. Mike affects Bill in the negative every day. Affect.
All right, I got it.
The effects of Bill being affected by Mike has filed brain cells away from him.
Once again,
right?
Severe impact.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going
610-632-0975. All right, let's go down more of this list here. I got Saquon, I got Fangio, I got the transaction at the bye on how that changed their play. I got Bond as 4. Number 5, the 2 rooks.
Yeah, this goes with the draft that I was talking about, because you're right. Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, what they've done, like what a lot of people are doing right now is they're comparing the 2022 Eagles roster to the 2024 Eagles roster. And when you mentioned Cooper DeJean, huge upgrade from Avonte Maddox at slot corner. That was your slot corner in that game. And as good as Avonte was early in his career when he was healthy, I don't think he was playing well in that Super Bowl. Cooper DeJean's a massive upgrade at the slot corner, especially compared to last year. Last year you had guys like, Bradley Roby was playing. Who else was playing slot corner last year, Ray? Didn't they move Bradbury inside at one point? They tried a bunch of different things because Avonte was hurt. So, yeah, I'll give you that one.
All right.
Let me give you one.
Go ahead.
And this is sometimes, I like to pat myself on the back for being right. You know how they clip some of these promos and they run us saying things? There was one running over the summer of me, and people told me I was crazy, where I said, this offensive line can be better than last year's offensive line. Oh, you're crazy. Jason Kelsey's gone. How could this offensive line be better? Cam Jurgens and Mekhi Becton are a huge reason why this Philadelphia Eagles team is where they are. As good as Saquon Barkley has been, you saw what Saquon did behind an offensive line in New York, right? He never had a season like this. Cam Jurgens sliding over to center to his natural position. Mekhi Becton transitioning to right guard has made this one of the most dominant offensive lines in the NFL. Those two players are a huge reason the team's where they are.
See, I'm going to replace that one because I think you're right, but I'm going to replace that.
With the coach?
With Jeff Stoutland is next on my list because Mekhi Becton really was struggling to be a viable player in this league until he got with Stoutland. And like Steen filling in the other day shows that he's got his backups prepared, and they didn't miss a beat with Cam Jurgens, who was here under the tutelage of Stoutland for a couple of years. So we can say one about Mailata and Lane Johnson, but the middle of that line was a Stoutland production, and I think the middle of the line had to be because of the way Saquon can run the football. So Jeff Stoutland is next on my list rather than those two individual guys, which sounds weird because I just put the two rookies ahead on the top list. I put the two rookies ahead, though, because they're high draft picks, and they have more of a pedigree than what Stoutland was able to do with those guys.
Yeah, so I think you and I think that's the same answer. Like me saying Jurgens, Jurgens and Becton, Mike saying Stoutland. I'm thinking that's the same answer.
That's not
Different
the same answer. Not the same answer. You gave credit simply to the players. I gave credit more to the coach than the players because I think that's more accurate.
All right, so maybe they're two separate. But you do have to, though, give a lot of credit to Cam Jurgens because it's not easy replacing a legend. I mean, Jason Kelce is an absolute legend in this city, one of the greatest centers we've ever seen in the National Football League, and this guy steps in and makes a Pro Bowl.
Let's take that back to Howie then, because he foresaw that. He knew that Jason Kelce wasn't going to play much longer. He had to find a guy that had those similar characteristics.
He did, and Ray mentioned something to me before the show. You're giving Howie credit for that. Do we have to give Andy Reid credit for that? Ray? Andy Reid is the one who laid the blueprint that Howie Roseman follows, Ray. Ray brought this up to me before the show, and you're spot on with this. I mean, when Andy Reid came here, he said, we're going to build along the offensive and defensive lines. The way you build a team is from the trenches, and then you work your way out. Howie Roseman learned that. So do we put Andy Reid on this list?
No.
I don't think people will be able to handle that.
Andy Reid on this list. Let's take a break. We'll come back. Sean in North Philly's been hanging. We're going to get to him. We got some texts. And do I have Sirianni on my list somewhere? Well, we'll see, because I'm up to now number 6. And we're at number 7. Could that be Sirianni on my list?
Well, I mean, you would think the indomitable genius.
610-632-0975. Tory Smith at 1225. We're playing Gimme 3 for Luke Bryan tickets. I'm about to give Sean from North Philly a college that an Eagle player came from. We're back after this. Let's get to the text board with Ray Dunn. Ray, what are the people saying? Somebody thought I would have Sirianni in the top 2, huh?
Yeah, unnamed texter here was convinced that you were going to have Sirianni in the top 2. Saying Mike swerved me. I thought his top 2 would include one Nick Sirianni.
Now, that's interesting that he would say that, since I'm still kind of, I'm not billish on Sirianni. I'm okay with it, but I'm not quite billish.
That was pretty good.
What?
Instead of bullish.
Yeah, I'm not quite billish. Billish on Sirianni. So,
you know why they may have said that, though?
Why is that?
Because you prefaced your second choice with, this is going to shock a lot a lot of people, right?
Yeah,
right?
Oh, okay.
So I think maybe
that's a lot of people thought.
That's what
I thought I was going to go there.
That's where I thought you were going to.
Oh,
I never once thought he was going that way.
When he said shocked, when he said I'm going to shock a lot of people, I'm like, oh man,
maybe. So I okey-doked him.
I actually got a little excited.
I got Sirianni on the list, but it's down a little bit. In fact, it's my next one. So I've got Saquon, Fangio, Bond, the transaction at the bye week, Stoutland at 6, and 7, Sirianni's maturity and growth as a head coach. Now, if we read today's Inquirer in a column, there's a heading that says, how will Kansas City cope with the indomitable genius of Nick Sirianni? We all thought that was going to be a sarcastic line. Instead, underneath it, it is written, if there's one thing Sirianni is known for, it's his mastery of game preparation and his keen sense on how to attack an opponent. Is that the one thing he's known for? Not really. I mean,
I didn't know that.
I got to be honest with you. It never entered my mind that's the one thing he's known for.
I'm the smartest coach in the world.
I don't really know what he's known for, to be honest with you. All I can look at is that he's got his team in the Super Bowl. But I never say, you know what, that's Sirianni. He's got a mastery of game preparation. Now, Andy Reid has a mastery of game preparation. I never said Sirianni. And a keen sense of how to attack an opponent. Well, really?
Well, look, I would say the one thing, or the main thing, I should say, not the one thing, the main thing that Nick Sirianni's known for, at least to me, is the culture that he builds, is the connecting that he does with his players.
Okay.
And then in turn, they connect with each other.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, but to say his mastery of preparing, I mean, not only is he not the offensive coordinator play caller, they also struggled with first quarter points early.
Yes, they did.
In the season. So
yes.
I wouldn't go there. I mean, that's not what I would say he does well.
He has a keen sense of how to attack an opponent. His keen sense has been simple. Run the football. That's the keen sense?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I mean, look,
I don't want to go too far because it says he's won all 4 season openers of his career. The point is, when he has time to prepare, he wins. Now, I would fashion to say that most coaches, when they have more time to prepare, have better success. Like, that's kind of a general statement, right?
Yeah, it is. But then he does in this article. And who is this? David Murphy, who wrote the article?
I don't know. Was it?
Yes.
Right.
Okay. David Murphy wrote the article. He does put the records since 2021 of every single coach who had 2 weeks to prepare.
Okay.
And Sirianni's 9-1, which is the best. Mike Tomlin's 7-1. Andy Reid 10-2. So I guess 9-1 has a slightly better winning percentage than 10-2, even though Andy's got more wins because he's played more games.
Yeah, but look, the records are all pretty good that he lists.
Yeah,
right?
they are.
It's like if you have more time to prepare, chances are you're going to be better. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a badge of honor. It's a good stat.
Like even Mike McDaniel's 5-1, and I don't think he's great.
And Tomlin,
Yeah.
you know, and they haven't had playoff success.
But let me ask you, because you're
What?
putting the Nick Sirianni's evolution on the list. I said earlier the decision to keep Nick Sirianni, because I'm not sure that the Eagles are where they are if Jeffrey Lurie knee-jerks last year and they bring in a new coach and a new staff and all.
It's a very speculative comment.
It's not easy.
These are definites that we're going by. You just gave me a speculative.
You know what? I want to look this up.
Maybe it was the same thing wouldn't happen if they didn't bring him back. Well, maybe the same thing would have happened. You don't really know.
How many first-year NFL coaches have made a Super Bowl? Do we know the answer to that? Because that's what it would have been. It would have been the first-year coach.
Well, but it wouldn't have been impossible, is my point. They still had really good players here. And maybe a head coach right away would have been more successful. I don't know. Yeah, it's very speculative, but I get it. You wanted to throw another lay on Nick Sirianni's neck.
Well, and that goes to Jeffrey Lurie, though, to keep the decision, because the noise was at an all-time high from the outside. Yeah. Fire him.
Yeah.
Made a decision not to.
Let's go to Sean in North Philly. Sean, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
What's going on, guys?
What's up, Sean?
I'm in a lot of pain with the Eagles being Super Bowl, but I expect them to blow out the Chiefs. Not even be close. All around, the Eagles are better offensive defense. So, yeah.
You expect the Eagles to blow out the Chiefs?
Yeah, by 2 scores.
And okay, is this just because you're an Eagle fan, or
I'm not an Eagles fan? No,
no. You're not an Eagles fan.
No.
Okay.
I'm not an Eagles fan, but I respect the talent that they have. Offense is going to destroy the Chiefs' defense, and their defense should.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: how come the Chiefs are the favorite?
Because of Mahomes and the 3-peat they have. That's why.
Well, does that not count?
Yeah, but overall, the Chiefs all year they've had a lot of wins by Skinner. The Chiefs got lucky. The refs played big parts in this stuff.
Oh, so the refs. We got the refs.
I think that the Eagles are going to.
Not about that refs thing that the league cheats.
Yeah. Sean, I'm with you. I'm with you in that I do think the Eagles are going to win this game, but I don't think you could just say nonchalantly, "Oh, they have Mahomes." Like, they have the greatest quarterback of all time.
Him and Kelsey, but I mean, on the Eagles' offense, the Chiefs' defense can't stop all their weapons, and then the Chiefs' offense, all they have is Kelsey. The other stats they have Worthy, who's fast. Hopkins is past his prime. He's not really going to be a big threat, right?
Yeah, here's the other thing you're missing, though. The Eagles' best part of what they do is run the football. The Chiefs stop the run.
I think, they haven't Saquon Barkley yet. Saquon's a freak of nature.
All right. That's fair.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
All right, man. You want to play Give Me 3 here for Luke Bryan tickets?
Please.
Saquon Barkley went to Penn State.
Okay.
Give me the first 3 names or things that come to your mind when I say Penn State.
Allen Robinson, Paul Posluszky, and Miles Sanders.
All right. There you go. Hold on a second. Allen Robinson, Paul Posluszny, and Miles Sanders.
The fact that he didn't say Mike Missanelli, I think, that drops him out of contention.
That qualifies.
That's a violation.
It qualifies. It's not the best.
So I would think
he could have said, well, I don't know.
Yeah, what would be your 3? You see, you're too close to that.
No, I'm not too close to it at all. I mean, what's the most legendary name to come out of Penn State?
Other than Mike Missanelli.
Even though people back off it, but what's the most legendary name?
Joe Paterno.
Yeah, okay.
It's Paterno.
Like saying, what's the most legendary running back that came from the Buffalo Bills? Like something to hold you back, but you know what I'm saying?
You still got to go OJ, even though
right.
Yeah.
So
you would say Paterno.
He has to be one of the 3. No.
Yeah, Paterno. I'm trying to think
Franco
of others.
Harris, the Hall of Famer.
We did this before. Who's the best Penn State quarterback? Was it Kerry Collins?
The best Penn State quarterback?
In NFL that had a good NFL career. Would it be Kerry?
Yeah. He threw for 45,000 yards.
Yeah.
Kerry Collins.
Never won a Super Bowl, though, right?
No.
Interesting. See, I was thinking the caller should have gone with, 3 things that come to mind. Choke against top 5 teams. Never going to win a national championship. Can't beat Ohio State. Those type of things, right?
Micah Parsons. LeVar Arrington.
Trace McSorley.
Yeah, Trace McSorley.
Adam Talaferro, local kid.
Joe Clifford.
Joe Juravicious. 610.
Deshaun Hamilton.
0975. Deshaun Hamilton. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
We're looking at the rematch. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. 2 years later, it's the Eagles and Chiefs matching up once more in the Super Bowl. While some of the court names remain the same, the Eagles return less than half of the roster that fell 3 points shy of the Chiefs in Super Bowl 57. As we continue to look at the merits of both teams, which one do you like better, 2022-2024? Head coach Nick Sirianni said he learned quite a bit from that first Super Bowl experience.
We have notes that we're going through and that we've been going through, a couple tweaks here and there, and a couple things that we'll stay the same. But of course, anytime you go through any situation like that, you take notes like that.
And now the preparation really getting underway. The Eagles return to the practice field looking towards Super Bowl 59 today. We got 10 days until the Eagles and Chiefs play down in New Orleans. Last night, 76ers won their fourth in a row with a 117-104 win over the Kings, behind 30 points from Tyrese Maxey. As for the Flyers, they lost 5-0 to the Devils. This update's brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. At Mercedes-Benz, there's a reason they go the extra mile from testing their vehicles to creating AI that can anticipate your needs on the road. They demand that every car is worthy of their star because it's Mercedes-Benz. I'm Ray Don on the home and the 76ers and the Flyers. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Tonight. You going to the concert? Who is this?
Mannequin Pussy!
Wait, where are they playing tonight?
They're at the Queen in Wilmington, Delaware.
Wow, look at you venturing down to Delaware.
Philly band, Mannequin Pussy.
Wow, they got an interesting look. I just pulled them up.
Yeah. If I were them, I'd put a mannequin on a stage as the prop.
Oh, you got to get one of these shirts.
What's the shirt?
It says Mannequin Pussy on it. You got to get this shirt.
And wear it on the air?
Yeah, wear it tomorrow.
I'm kind of
Dude, their website.
Joke. I heard it's kind of a wild concert. The way they play.
It looks like it would be. I mean,
there's 3 girls in the band, right?
3 girls
3
and
ladies,
1 dude.
And 1 dude.
Yeah. I'm looking at their pictures now, but they're.
I love ladies that can rock. I always have. Like ladies that play guitar in a rock band or front a rock band. I'm in.
Yeah, this is gonna be.
I don't know what it is.
It's gonna be a good show tonight. You going by yourself?
No.
They're Wilmington tonight.
Yeah.
Baltimore tomorrow.
Down the street from my law school.
Widener.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Have fun tonight.
I didn't even have to put Ray up to that.
I guess tomorrow we may have to carry the show. Mike may be a little bit tired tomorrow. Late night tonight for you.
Yeah, I might be P-whipped. See what I did there?
It's good.
Pretty clever, right? Come on. Chuckle? I don't get a chuckle out of that from Ray?
There we go. There we go. I had my daughter's talent show last night, and one of the kids' talent was he told jokes.
Oh, really?
Stage. Yeah, it was pretty
Future
good.
comedian?
It's pretty good.
Was he funny? We already tell dad jokes.
He told dad jokes, yeah.
All right. Sixers last night won again, folks. I don't know what's going on.
4 in a row.
See, here's the problem. They're going to suck people back in because now they're going to get into that playoff spot as one, 10, 9, 8 in that area. And then they're going to give people hope that they could do something in the playoffs. But I'm looking at last night's game because I got to be honest with you. I'll admit this. When I'm back-to-back with the Sixers after they won the other night, I go, there's no way that they win this game. And the fact the line was the Kings were favored by 8 points in that game. Yeah. So I go, that's a line. It's telling me something. Instead, the Sixers had the control the whole time. Let me look at the Kings. I don't see. There's something about NBA teams that I don't get. Now, the Kings are a pretty decent team. They had been on a roll after they changed the coach. They've lost a couple games in a row. The Kings last night, all their starters getting double figures scoring, right? However, 8 of the 10 players they used in that game were a minus 70.
What?
Yeah, yes. 3 of their starters were a minus, including DeRozan, Murray, and Fox, who came back for the first time. Their bench, meanwhile, minus 38 combined. Now, that's just not trying.
No.
We're not talking about
bona fide scrub.
We're not talking about an offensive juggernaut that the Sixers are putting out there right now.
They are, but I got a major bone to pick with the Sixers, and you got to tell me if this is a violation.
All right, well, hold on. Pick that bone after I tell the people that you're listening to WPEN and WPEN HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities.
All right, so here's the bone to pick. So after every game, we get an email from the 76ers. I don't know if you do, but I get an email from the Sixers with like post-game notes and quotes. So they send one out last night after they beat the Kings. It's fine. It starts off with Sixers secure their 4th straight victory, 117-104. Second line, okay? Should you be bragging about this? This is the second time in franchise history the 76ers have won at least 4 consecutive contests following a losing streak of 7+ games. Is that something to brag about? That you had a 7-game losing streak? That's the lead in the email? That's the biggest takeaway from last night is, hey, they lost 7 straight, but now they won 4.
It's resilience.
Come
it shows
on, man.
that when you're down, you're not out, and you can build back. 4 in a row, baby.
It's the second time they've done it. The last time was 1959. To me, that's a violation. That is not something you should lead with and be proud of, that you're coming off of a 7-game losing streak.
Well, listen, social media, they have to find little tidbits to put out there, right? It's their job. But there was something else last night that should have bothered you.
What was that?
A little Caucasian disrespect.
Oh, that was 2 nights ago.
Oh, 2 nights. I'm sorry. That's right.
You know, it was 2 nights ago.
2 nights ago, now people saw this.
By the King.
Yeah, like back-to-back, the Sixers went, and they played the Lakers the night before. So a lot of football players go because they feel that bond with LeBron, and they want to, brother it up with LeBron. I think that's cool.
Yeah, you get to see a legend.
Yeah. So 2 Eagle white dudes were there. Cooper DeJean and Reed Blankenship and LeBron. He didn't.
I don't know if he knew who they were because
he didn't know who they were because all white people look alike.
LeBron goes over. He daps up. He daps up like A.J. Brown, Paris Campbell, Darius Slay, and then you see Reed and Cooper just sitting there like 2 kids, like LeBron's got no love for us. I don't think he knew who they were.
The 2 little white boys who he assumed were Eagle Cowboys.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
It's pretty funny. I'm looking at the video.
Those 2 dudes can't be Eagles.
I'm looking at the video now. Yeah, he daps up Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown.
Was that the kid on a Zamboni the other night?
The youngster.
Oh, come on, LeBron. Come on, man. We don't all look alike. Although those 2 dudes do look alike.
And in his defense,
Opie Cunningham's.
Reed and Cooper DeJean, if you told me they were in high school, I would believe you. I mean, they do look young.
Yeah, they do. They look like they wouldn't be players.
No.
Let's face it.
You know how much of a maniac you got to be to look like Reed Blankenship and be a safety in the NFL? Like, that guy must be a maniac.
LeBron's got to take inventory of that, though. They're sitting in the same area. Come on. They're all hanging out together. Well, first of all, those guys should say, hey, they're my partners right there. That's Cooper DeJean and Reed Blankenship. One of the Eagles throwing him a bone?
MVD is on fire in the chat. I'm not going to read what he's saying.
All right. All right, let's get back to the text board here. All right, the texters are interested in Bill. To get Bill grammar lessons?
Yeah, so people are texting in some explanations from Bill. Can you explain the difference between ensure and insure?
Ensure and insure?
Yes.
Well, insure means you are like protecting something, right? When you insure something, you're protecting it. Insure means you are making sure something happens.
A likely result.
Right?
Yeah, that a likely result is going to happen.
All right.
Did I get that right?
Another texter, than and then.
Oh, that one's easy. Yeah. I always use that properly. You say more than, or we're going to land in New Orleans, then go to Bourbon Street.
Yeah. You got it.
There we go. Yeah, people, I have a bad rap.
He went to a private school.
And I went to Gettysburg.
You would never know. He went to a
Temple
private high school.
And then Jim from Satterton also has a grammar problem with our station. That people are allergic to the pronoun me. People love to say join myself at. And it drives Jim nuts. He says drives me nuts.
Yeah, I've never said join myself.
Yeah.
Never.
You know what else I have a problem with?
Who says myself? Does he say who says it?
No, he says it's the station. It's a station-wide.
Well, if it's a station-wide thing, you got to dime people out who did it. Because I don't do it.
Yeah, we have to do that.
That's awkward to say myself.
I also
who says it?
I don't know. I'm going to call out maybe.
I'm thinking Andrew says myself.
And Connor probably. Andrew and
Connor.
I don't know.
Connor is doing an event tomorrow night.
So maybe
I think it's Connor.
I also have a problem with this. Is a PSA for everybody. When you're posting a picture on social media, and let's say I take a picture of Mike and me. You would say it's Mike and me at Rally House, right?
No. It's between you and me, but otherwise it's you and I.
Yes, this is the problem I have. No one knows how to use it properly. So we need this lesson. Which one is it? Because if I just post a picture and say Mike and I.
Yeah, that would be Mike and I.
Is that proper?
Yes.
It's not Mike and me.
No, Mike and me is between you and me. You would say between you and me, but otherwise it would be you and I.
Ray, aren't you confused?
Yeah, of course. I'm perpetually confused. I don't have enough degrees to work on this show.
Bill never believes me. Have you noticed this?
I've noticed
Bill, I can tell Bill something. He'll right away go to Google to check it out. He did it today to me this morning. What did you do this morning? You checked out
Gwen Stefani.
Yes. No. But Gwen Stefani is with Blake Shelton. Well, he couldn't take my word for it.
No, I had to look it up.
Yeah, look it up.
I'm like, no, Luke Bryan was the one with her.
Yeah. All right, let's go, Spanky. We'll get you right after this break. And there's some texts that are looking for Kellen Moore love. I don't have Kellen Moore on my list. Maybe that's a violation. But Spanky's up next. We'll go to the text board. We're playing Gimme 3 for Luke Bryan tickets. The Mike Missanelli Show continues.
ESPN's Tim McManus on the
.5 the Manitoba text board. Looking for Kellen Moore low. I got to be honest with you. Kellen did a nice job. I don't know if I got him in my tops. I don't know what he did was that special except follow a blueprint that worked. I guess, I'm sure changing. But what's the texter say, Ray?
What about Kellen Moore changing his whole previous way of running a pass-heavy offense in Dallas to running a running offense here? No Kellen Moore love. Joe from Boston.
Not exactly innovative, though, what he did. What he did was he dumbed it down a little bit.
Yeah. What offense, just off your head, now I have the numbers in front of me, but what offense do you think averaged more total yards per game, the 2022 Eagles or this Eagles team?
2022 Eagles.
Correct. They were 389 yards a game, which was top 3 in the NFL. This year, 367, which was 8th. Mm-hmm. Which team averaged more points per game, 2022 or 2024?
22.
Correct.
30,
2022, 28.1, right? Which was 3rd. This year, 27.2, which was 7th. Mm-hmm. Now, Kellen Moore was brought in here to really take advantage of this passing attack, right? A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts. Now, I know they went run heavy. In 22, they had the top 10, number 9, ranked passing offense at 242 per game. This year, they were 29th at 188. So I get it. The rushing attack is number 2 in the league this year, but it was top 5 in 22. Like, I think if I'm ranking offensive coordinator, Shane Steichen or Kellen Moore, I think I'd still go Steichen. I thought Steichen was an excellent play caller, an excellent offensive coordinator. Kellen Moore's doing a good enough job. I hope he doesn't get the Saints job selfishly.
Yeah.
Because I'd love to see him back next year for continuity, but I think Shane Steichen was a better offensive coordinator than Kellen Moore.
Here was the Eagles' offense. I dare you to score 20 against our defense.
Yeah.
Which would be IDYTSTAOD.
IDYT.
STAOID. I dare you to score 20 against our defense. That's their offense.
That was pretty quick. You wrote that in the break. You didn't just come up with that.
Yeah, I did.
That was pretty quick,
I had
right?
to calculate the letters.
I was so
I had
confused.
to write it down. Ray was confused.
Worse than the grammar.
I confuse Ray every day, frankly. All right, let's get to the phones here. Spanky in Overbrook. What's up, Spank?
Mike, I'm getting pissed off right now.
What's going on, Spank?
Because I can't understand, listen, Patrick Mahomes is a great quarterback, but I don't understand his greatest of all time like he Drago or somebody. I don't understand that, Mike, man.
Bill said he's the greatest of all time. I haven't committed to that yet.
Yeah, everybody keep calling this cat the greatest of all time. He ain't the greatest of all time. He can be beat. He ain't no machine. Why is it that... Listen, if you want to go coach...
Well, listen, Spank, he doesn't get beat very often. I mean, let's face it.
I mean...
I guess anybody can get beat. This dude is going for his 3rd straight Super Bowl title.
Yeah, but Mike, they acting like he's Jordan or somebody. Like he's supposed to be listen, Jordan was one of them dudes that you couldn't sleep at night when you was playing this.
Well, you don't think Mahomes is the same?
Nah, hell no, Mike.
What?
I think if you get Mike, I think if you get to this dude, we gotta get to this dude.
Well, Spank, let's be fair. Who gets to him? He squirms out of everything. He throws it behind his back. He's like, come on.
Mike, all them trick plays he do and all that kind of stuff, that's all fluky. And don't get me wrong, I respect them. They won games, Mike, but I'm sick of acting like this boy is like he's invincible, like he can't be beat. They just got to get to him. They got to wrap him up. They got to get pressure, and they got to get to him. We should have won that game last time, but he was squirming out of these arms.
But that's what he does. He's the squirmer.
Man, I'm sick of this dude, Mike. I can't stand him.
Spanky, he's been a starter. He's been a starter for 8 years. They've gone to 8 conference championships, 4 Super Bowls, and they've won 3 of them.
Thank you. Got to give it up.
Oh no! Listen, I'm not saying he's not.
You got to give it up. First of all, why are you? Why are you?
All time.
Listen, when all's said and done, he might be. I wouldn't call him that now.
Actually, this is their 5th Super Bowl.
Yeah. Why are you sick of him?
Because I think everybody talking like he's a machine.
Well, but how could you be sick? He is. How could you be sick of greatness? Were you sick of Mike?
Yeah, I was sick of Mike, but I respected Mike.
No, I agree with Spanky. I'm sick of him, too.
I'm not sick of him.
I acknowledge he's the greatest.
I can never be sick of greatness. I can never. The greatness is greatness. It doesn't come along very often. How are you sick of it?
Because you always root for... I always root for David over Goliath.
You know how hard it is to be great?
Mike, Tom Brady and them beat him, right? Tom Brady and them beat him, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to. They making it seem like this, like he's unbeatable, and I'm not even.
Well, who beat him? Who beat him? What was the guy's name? Who beat him?
Tom Brady.
The greatest of all time. beat him.
Exactly, and I respect Tom. I respect Tom more than I respect.
Okay, all right, and I agree with you. Tom Brady's the greatest of all time, and I don't think Pat Mahomes will ever get there.
Like, they killing me with this, man. I can't wait for this game, man. I don't want to. I'm about to turn my TV off and not watch no more of the ESPNs and none of that kind of stuff. I'm super.
I love it. This leads to another topic I want to discuss. But Spanky, let me give me three, right? Sorry, so I'm going down the list of Eagle players. All right, let's go to A.J. Brown. He went to Mississippi. First three things that pop into your head when I say Mississippi.
Mike,
you can say whatever you want, because I got something down that isn't sports related.
That isn't. I can say anything.
You can say anything. Now I happen to have it. I got
Mississippi River.
That's a good one. Mississippi River's a good one.
Jesus Christ, that's a good one.
They had a great quarterback there.
I'm stuck, Mike. I'm stuck.
All right, Frank. Well, Eli Manning.
No, Ole Miss. Wait, where did Dak go? Where did Prescott go?
Mississippi State.
Yeah, so Dak. The first thing that comes to my mind is MISSISSIPPI. That's like one of the first things you learn.
Are we giving you credit for Dak when he went to a rival school?
Well, I said Mississippi.
He said the state of Mississippi.
I said A.J. Brown went to Mississippi. First three things that come up about Mississippi. So I guess in a way, because here's the first thing that came to my head. It's Eli Manning came to my head.
Eli at Ole Miss.
The movie Mississippi Burning came to my head. Have you seen that?
I have not.
You have not seen Mississippi
Is Gene Hackman
Burning?
in that?
Gene Hackman and
Willem Dafoe?
Willem Dafoe.
I know what movie you're talking about. I never saw it.
And I'm missing the biggest. Who else was in Mississippi Burning? Alec Baldwin.
Oh, he's in that as well.
Is he in that? No. Yeah. Did he play a lawyer?
I never saw
Bobby
it.
DeLorean? Oh, I know Ray did.
Yeah, if you're looking for Billy,
the 1988 film.
It's a good movie.
Gene Hackman, Francis McDormand, Willem Dafoe, Michael Rooker, Brad Dourif. I don't see Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin was in another one.
Yo, the kid from Family Matters is in it. Darius McCrary, Eddie Wilson, or Eddie Winslow, I mean.
The guy that was in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Billy Bibbit.
Billy Bibbitt's in that too?
Yeah. He plays one of the racist Mississippians.
Billy Bibbit. That's one of my favorite movies of all
Is there
time.
another sports guy we can throw in here from Mississippi?
Brett Favre? Isn't he a Mississippi guy?
He didn't go to Mississippi.
But isn't that where he's from?
Yeah. You can go Brett Favre.
DK Metcalf, right?
He went to Southern Mississippi.
Wasn't Metcalf on that team with A.J. Brown?
Yeah, Metcalf. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and Favre went to Southern Miss.
No, Metcalf went to Miss. Oh, no, Metcalf did go to Mississippi.
Yeah, because they were the two jack dudes on the team that stopped.
Favre went to Southern Miss. Yeah, not Mississippi.
DK Metcalf.
Was Chad Kelly their quarterback?
Chad Kelly? How about you got Bo Nix go there? Bo Nix a Mississippian?
Bo Nix.
There you go. Bo
Did
Nix.
not.
He did not? Where did he go?
He went to Auburn and Oregon.
Oh, Oregon.
Yeah.
Auburn first. All right. I screwed up. That's a tough one, man. Mississippi
is tough.
Nobody qualifies for Mississippi. I'll try to get a more well-known college down the line here. Mike Missanelli Show, 610-632-0975. Coming up, Tory Smith at 12:25. Stay tuned.
Fanatic Sports Update.
We're looking at the rematch. Sean done with this Fanatic Sports Update. 2 years later, it's the Eagles and Chiefs matching up once more in the Super Bowl. While some of the core names remain the same, the Eagles returned less than half of the roster that fell 3 points shy of the Chiefs in Super Bowl 57. As we look at the two different teams and talk about all these 2 weeks about what's different, what's changed, and what might lead to an Eagles victory, head coach Nick Sirianni believes he's learned from that first Super Bowl experience.
We have notes that we're going through and that we've been going through, a couple tweaks here and there, and a couple things that will stay the same. But of course, anytime you go through any situation like that, you take notes like that.
And part of that preparation begins today as the Eagles hit the practice field down there at Lincoln Financial Field. Get ready for Super Bowl 59 against the Chiefs, February 9th down in New Orleans. Last night, 76ers won their 4th in a row with a 117-104 win over the Kings behind 30 points from Tyrese Maxey. The Flyers fell 5-0 to the Devils. This update's brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. At Mercedes-Benz, there's a reason they go the extra mile, from testing their vehicles to creating AI that can anticipate your needs on the road. They demand that every car is worthy of their star because it's Mercedes-Benz. I'm Ray Dunn, the home of the 76ers and the Flyers. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
626, Mike Missanelli Show. You know, I brought the dog in yesterday, right? Because my cleaning lady was there. So I like to get the dog out of the house. I come home, and I go, she's still there. I got to kill more hours because I don't want to be there when she's cleaning.
Yeah.
She didn't leave my house until 8 o'clock.
Yeah, you said she spends a lot of time, man.
10 hours.
How possible?
10 hours.
How often does she come?
Once a month, but she missed the last one because it was New Year's Day, I believe. So this was the first that she had been there in 2 months.
That's probably why. Because ours comes every 2 weeks, I believe, which makes it more of a maintenance
It's
thing.
not like I'm Pigpen. Like, I'm a pretty neat guy. I'm not Jerry Seinfeld, but I'm not a germaphobe. But, you know, I have what I call organized piles. I know exactly where they are, but they're neat. They're just piles.
Organized policy. I'm the similar way. Because sometimes you'll wear clothes that aren't necessarily dirty yet. So I put them in kind of like an intermediate pile. Like maybe I'll wear that to the gym. Not clean enough to wear to work.
She is so magnificently particular that it takes her like a really long time to button everything down. To the point where like she's ready to leave. You know, I can't cook or anything. I don't want to. She's still there. I'm not messing up while she's there. So I'm just sitting in the chair watching TV, waiting for it. I look up. It's like 8 o'clock. And she goes, "Okay, I'm ready. I'm going." And then she sees like a dish and a fork in my sink.
She comes back.
Yes, clean the dish and spin the fork. 10 hours, dude.
Yeah. Ray, you probably don't have. Do you and your roommates have a cleaning lady yet?
No.
Listen, I'm telling you, it's the best money you'll ever spend. It is. It's worth it. You should just build it into whatever your monthly budget is. You should have
a
a
kid
cleaning
like
lady.
him. He's not thinking of it. I didn't think of a cleaning lady until I was like 50.
Me either, but it's like it's just it's the best. It's the best because they do a better job than you're ever going to do.
Well, yeah, obviously, but yeah, no, that's not happening for me.
All right, I'm just saying. Like I'm going. You know, I'm there 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock with the cleaning lady there, and I'm going. I can't even move. I would like to go into my bed, lay down a little bit, watch a little TV.
No, you can't.
You know? All right, not to you know.
All right, so we were counting down the show, though. We're counting down how the Eagles got here, the evolution, right? You have Saquon at number 1, Fangio at number 2. I don't disagree with you, but we've named some other things, too.
Yeah, I can't, my list is kind of like halting. So I got
a couple more.
7 was Sirianni.
Which he should be higher on the
Number
list.
8 is the Lions fell apart. Number 9 is AJ's book. I'm running out of things here.
So you said the Lions fall apart. On my list, I have it listed as a weaker NFC. Not taking anything away from this Eagles team because they're very good.
Yes.
But there was really no juggernaut in the NFC. Yep. And it got proven when the Lions got knocked off by the Commanders.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't have to worry about the 49ers this year. The Vikings were frauds. The Lions, in a lot of respects, were frauds, mainly because their head coach is a goof. Did you say, Did you hear that? I think that's an agreement, Ray. Did he just say Dan Campbell was a goof?
Yeah, well,
It did kind of sound like you agreed.
Acknowledging the stuff that you would say.
Sounds like you agreed.
I'm not, I'm no longer going to argue this with you. I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, and you look at the NFC East for the Eagles. I mean, the Commanders are not on the Eagles level, but they were the real only competition in the NFC East. The Cowboys stunk. The Giants stunk.
Yeah.
So I put this evolution for the Eagles. You got to look around at the competition. It was nowhere near as high as it's been in previous years.
I gotcha. All right, let's go to. We have a. Please don't. Are you gonna like get under my skin with this text, Ray? A confident texter about the matchup, but nervous about what?
I'm not trying to get under your skin. I'm just telling you what the people are telling you.
Naturally, going to get under my skin.
Well, I'm the messenger.
Go ahead.
You know what they say about the messenger.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm just letting you know what people are upset
go ahead,
about.
Read this text.
That's what I'm getting to. Don't worry. I'm trying. They were fired up at the grammar. They were upset. Feel like we can beat them. Barkley will break out, and I'm worried about our QB sacks, and I'm worried about the flags. Holding and roughing the passer calls. We're gonna have to play flag football. Andre from West Philly.
This ref thing has become an obsession.
It has
with Eagle fans. I just don't get it. What is it about us where we assume everyone and everything is against us.
Well, in this instance, though, I think it's less about refs being against the Eagles and more about refs being in favor of the Chiefs. Like, that's a national perspective. It's not just Eagles fans who think that. Anyone who watched football this year had that thought in their head is, oh, well, look, they get every single call.
It's such a manifestation of jealousy that it makes me crazy. It's like, come on, people. They're good. They cultivated a really good team. It's not the refs. The refs aren't on their side. It's not the league wanting them to advance. They seem to make the plays when they need to make the plays.
And I'm looking at
people disrespect greatness, man, and you do it too. Disrespect greatness. All right, let's get to it. Well, what do you got there? You got something?
No, I'm trying to look up, and I'll get it. I just want to try to see, because I know there's a list.
Thank you. He hates Patrick Mahomes. Why on earth would you hate a great player? I hate Tom Brady. Really? The best quarterback in the history of the game at the most important position of the game you hate?
Yeah, I never understood that.
Everybody had universal love for Michael Jordan, but universal hate for LeBron. I try to figure people out, and I don't get it. Let's go to Jimmy in Germantown. Jimmy, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Jimmy.
Mikey, miss, what's going on?
What's up, Jimmy?
You know the usual. I can't call it. I was telling your producer, me and my homie, we call Saquon fourth quarter Quan, so we pretty much just looking towards the second half.
Fourth quarter Quan, I like it.
We call him 4QQ, fourth quarter Quan, because we sit around, smoke, play Madden, we have fun, and we talk our trash, but we're really Eagles fans, and really the Eagles got this. I ain't too much worried about the refs for real, but it's something to look for.
Yeah, see, you're looking
for it. It's something to look for.
You're looking for it, Jimmy. That's the thing that annoys me. You're looking for it. See, that was against us. That was pro-Chiefs.
Oh, no, listen. I don't do that. That's weird to me. Oh, my God, I don't sit there and
like Bill. He slowed up going out of bounds. That's unethical.
Oh, it was ridiculous. I would stand by that.
It's hate and jealousy. And when you have hate and jealousy, it makes you look smaller. I want our people to look big.
I don't do that, Mike. That's goofy. I'm looking forward to Quan getting at least 150.
I like Quan, man. I like that. Nobody. Everyone says Saquon. Nobody really says Quan.
Yeah, 4QQ.
I mean, 4QQ. Mark it down. Let him know.
All right, Jimmy. You want to play? Give me three. Are you a Luke Bryan fan?
Give me three.
All right, here it is.
I worked at the stadium. I saw him already. I don't, but we could play.
Okay. If I give you, because we know we got a lot of players from Georgia. So if I say Georgia, what's the first three things that come to your head?
Georgia?
Yes.
Nolan Smith Jr.
No, it can't be a team. It can't be a player on the team. It can't be. It's just in general. No, but you can't use the guys that are on this team.
Overall, Atlanta, Georgia Peaches, and
Atlanta.
The Falcons.
All right. Well, I wanted to get a little more specific.
Yeah.
Specific than that.
That doesn't qualify.
Players.
You gotta go Herschel.
Herschel's number one.
Yeah, Herschel Walker.
Who would be two?
Oh man.
Interesting.
Right,
you got somebody?
Yeah, if I had to guess, probably like Jake Fromm.
Jake Fromm.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Didn't Fran Tarkenton go to Georgia?
Fran Tarkenton did go to Georgia, but we're missing. They have like 10 running backs besides Herschel. Super Bowl winning running back.
Oh yeah, who was that?
Terrell Davis.
He was a Georgia guy.
Yes.
I'm thinking of somebody else.
Champ Bailey.
Wait, where'd Ronnie Brown go?
Rodney Hampton. Garrison Hurst is a bust-out name.
John Mayer.
John Mayer?
Wasn't he a Georgia
How about this one? Todd Gurley.
Yeah,
How about
Todd Gurley.
No Sean Moreno?
No, John Mayer's not a Georgia guy. I think I made that up.
Moreno was the one that cried,
Sean Moreno.
Right? He was the one that cried before the Super Bowl.
Yes. DeAndre Swift. A.J. Green. Nick Chubb.
There's a lot.
Come on, man.
There's a lot. Let me put this penalty thing to rest. Or maybe give you some arguments.
Stetson Bennett.
Another great one.
Stetson Bennett. Didn't his girlfriend go viral? Wasn't it that where
No, that was the guy from Alabama.
Oh, that was Alabama. That's right. Not Stetson.
A.J. what's his
A.J. McCarron.
A.J. McCarron. And who was the announcer who couldn't stop talking about it?
Brett Musburger.
Yeah, Musburger. Yes.
Well, Brett was all over.
Yeah, he was. All right, so I just pulled up. This is NFLpenalties.com. So it gives you their penalties against, the penalties they got, and then it gives you the net count in terms of yards and just total numbers.
All right, we'll save that.
All right.
So, all right, on the other side, we'll get to that.
Yeah, I'll give it to you because we'll see where the Kansas City Chiefs and where the Eagles rank.
610-632-0975. News at noon also coming up at noon. We got some pretty good ones for the news at noon, including the former Penn State basketball coach.
I didn't see this.
Now at Notre Dame.
I didn't see it.
All right, Mike Missanelli Show back after this.
Andrew DeCecco.
You see the
You're looking for it, Keith. Because you got this Philly thing that the whole world's against you. You're looking for it.
Right, but no, I'm saying this from a neutral standpoint. If you watch some of the Chiefs games,
From a neutral standpoint. But here's the thing, Keith, you're not neutral.
And it's like he's affected from getting touched. Like, don't touch Patrick Mahomes. Don't hurt him.
Keith, you're not neutral.
Yeah, I'm not.
Like Keith's not the only one, man.
Keith, yeah, you're one of a growing legion of people who think the same thing. And I go, we get past that kind of nonsense. Come on, Keith.
Gotta watch out for the refs, man.
All right, Keith. Let's play Give Me 3 for Luke Bryan tickets. I know you're excited.
Okay.
All right. All right. So if I give you the college, the University of Florida, C.J. DeAndre Johnson went to Florida. The first three things that pop into your head with Florida.
Florida. Tampa.
No. It's got to be a player of some sort.
Oh, got to be a player.
Be a player from the University of Florida. Yeah.
Button down there. Players from University of Florida.
Trying to get call a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to.
This is hard for people.
Tim Tebow.
I got to reduce this to give me 2.
Yeah. Tim Tebow's got to be on there,
Tim
right?
Tebow. Al Horford came to my mind.
Oh, I don't.
Yannick Noah. Not
Joakim.
Joakim Noah.
Yeah.
That was also the name that came to mind for me.
Joakim Noah. Yeah.
Who else we got from Florida? Who else is a Gator? What about Gatorade?
That's pretty good.
The local kid from Archbishop Wood that got drafted by the Falcons go to Florida?
Pitts?
Yeah. Pitts a Florida guy, right?
Florida guy? I think so.
Yeah,
Sounds right. It's a feel fact on that one, but it feels right.
I think Pitts went to Florida.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's a good one. What about Disney World?
Yeah. No, it's too big. If I said Orlando, go Disney World.
I don't
The
know.
whole state.
I think most people hear Florida, they think Disney World.
There should be more football names out of Florida. No,
That's what you think of when you think of Florida?
How about the kid another local kid who got drafted by the Minnesota Vikings, who went to Philadelphia Public School? Floyd. Didn't he go to Florida? The guy that was drafted. You know what I'm talking about?
Sharif Floyd?
Sharif Floyd.
That the Eagles drafted?
No, Minnesota.
Jeff Driscoll. That's a good one.
Minnesota drafted the kid from Florida.
Kyle Trask.
No, the defensive tackle. Who is it? Chapbour's got to come.
Yeah, Sharif Floyd. You're correct.
Sharif Floyd went to Florida, right?
And Minnesota drafted him, not the Eagles.
Yeah, there you go.
Who was I thinking of that the Eagles drafted? That was maybe Sharif Miller, I'm thinking of.
Ah, there you
Sharif
go.
Miller went to Penn State. Yeah, he never worked out. Sharif Miller. Sharif Floyd played at a high level.
But as you were going at it with the caller about the refs, and I gave the number and all, someone tweets at me. This is the problem, Mike, that a lot of people have. It's not just the total number of penalties and yards with the Chiefs. It's when the penalties occur. Kansas City gets the call late in the game or in critical situations every time. That comes from Brad R. on Twitter. And people do have that sour taste in their mouth after the James Bradbury holding call, man. I mean, to throw that flag in that moment, to have the Super Bowl, the biggest game of the year, decided like that after you had been letting them play that way the whole game was terrible.
You know what Bradbury said about that?
He held him.
Yeah.
You're damn right he held him.
No. Yeah, Bradbury said it was a penalty.
They held him, but you don't throw that flag. You don't.
All right. You don't throw it.
By the way, question I need you to answer on the other side.
All these people are saying that all these refs help the Chiefs.
Yeah, they hate the refs.
It's like it's stunning to me. But go ahead.
James Bradbury's still on this roster. He's going to get a Super Bowl ring if they win.
Him.
How do you feel about that?
Should he take it?
How do you feel about that?
Should he auction it? Mike Missanelli.
You haven't even seen that guy. He's been witness protection.
Yeah, he is.
He's with Arthur.
Back after this. News at noon coming up.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Looking at the rematch, I'm right done with this Fanatic Sports Update. 2 years later, it's the Eagles and Chiefs matching up once more in the Super Bowl. Well, some of the core names remain the same. The Eagles return less than half of the roster that fell 3 points shy of the Chiefs in Super Bowl 57. As you look back at that Super Bowl, so is head coach Nick Sirianni saying he learned some lessons from that first time around.
We have notes that we're going through and that we've been going through, a couple tweaks here and there, and a couple things that will stay the same. But of course, anytime you go through any situation like that, you take notes like that.
And that's part of the preparation process that begins on the field today as the Birds return to practice, get ready for Super Bowl 59 against the Chiefs down in New Orleans. Last night, 76ers won their 4th in a row with a 117-104 win over the Kings behind 30 points from Tyrese Maxey. The Flyers lost 5-0 to the Devils. This update brought to you by Audible. If you're stuck in traffic, why not tap into your well-being with Audible audiobooks, podcasts, and originals? Your expert insight on health, relationships, finance, and more. Sign up for a free trial at audible.com. I'm Ray Dunn, the home of the 76ers and the Flyers. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
guess what's lighting up the lines right now?
Rightfully so, Mike.
The concept of the officials being pro Kansas City. You know my stance on it. I'm not going to argue with you. My stance is really simple. Officials' calls even out. We have a tendency here in Philadelphia to always think that the world's against us, A. B, we also have a tendency never to notice the calls that go in our favor.
That is true.
Or the ones that are missed that go in our favor. Like which one, Bill, specifically that happened recently?
Right in the NFC Championship game. Yeah, Saquon Barkley. It was a blatant hold. They showed it on the broadcast afterward, and Pereira said, yeah, that should have been a holding penalty, and they didn't throw the flag. But you're right. We ignore those. We ignore those.
So I have an adage that I just created. Most human beings are jealous of greatness until they actually achieve it.
Did you just make that up?
Just made it up.
Should we trademark it?
And that's what see, we in every situation where somebody else has something that we don't have, the natural tendency for human beings is to be jealous of it. And a reflection of the jealousy of it is that you then have to criticize it to make it feel better about somebody being superior. The Chiefs have been superior. I didn't create it. I don't think God created it. They created it, right? Through management, through drafting, through coaching, through drafting an all-world quarterback. It just happened to work out for those guys. So when you detract from it by saying, well, they get all the calls, that's why. I mean, that sounds ridiculous. And I go, this is why you put too much emphasis on what officials do for the game. You cheapen the game when you give the officials that kind of power. The perception power that the Chiefs are only good because the league wants them to be good or the officials want them to be good. Are there occasional plays where maybe Mahomes gets the benefit of the doubt because he's a great quarterback? Probably. I mean, the time immemorial, great players have kind of gotten that subconscious benefit. But in the end, most of the calls even out. You're listening to Mike Missanelli Show on WPEN HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. We'll get to everybody who wants to talk about this, and a lot of people want to talk about it, and I'm fine talking about it. I'm not going to argue with you. If that's the way you feel, that's the way you feel. But right now, it is time for the news at noon.
There's a whole lot going on in this world. It's time to catch up. Here's the news at noon. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
News at noon starts with a story that we talked about got a week and a half ago about LeBron James saying that he killed as a 16-year-old in a pickup game that included Michael Jordan. That's our first tidbit with Ray Dunn. It's all yours, Ray.
That's where we start. LeBron on the Kelsey's podcast about a week or two ago said that he was unguardable in that pickup game. Well, apparently Tim Hardaway Sr. was there, was a part of it, and gives you the full report with the question before this clip starts being asked, was LeBron really unguardable?
Yeah, we wanted to see what he had and what he could do. He didn't do it all the time. He had broke his wrist, and it was like a week after he took the cast off. Mm-hmm. He came in, he was playing. He came down on a fast break, and we thought he was going to pass. The mother took off from the free throw line. He just took off. He missed, but the mother just poof. I mean, just like that. It was a 3-on-2. We thought he was going to pass, and it was like in slow motion. The mother took off. And I was like, damn. And he just missed it. The ball slipped out of his hand. He said, that's incredible. Yeah. I mean, for a 16, 17-year-old kid to come in and do some like that. And he was making shots, playing defense, passing the ball. You could feel his presence. You could feel his presence. You could feel you knew that he was going to be that in the NBA.
Very colorful.
Yeah.
Tim Hardaway Sr. But see, that's the thing when you have that kind of burning desire. Kobe had that. Like, you see all these stories about Kobe being that age, just taking on anybody. He didn't care. And in fact, when he went to the Lakers as a rookie, and what was he, 18, 19 at the most? the Laker teammates didn't like it, that he was cocky like that and he played like that. And you know what he said? I don't give up.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what makes the special competitors.
Because there's a lot of good players. A lot of people have the skill, but it's that mentality that brings you to greatness.
All right, let's go to number 2.
All right, going to number 2 here. Bill Belichick was on Sirius XM and was in the midst of a answer where he talks all about how coaches don't win games, players win games, a ton of coach speak. He spent like 2 minutes rattling off names of people who helped him win games. But at the end of this, he finally comes to something real. So here's the end of the answer, talking about how players win games and coaches do not.
Man, I didn't make any tackles. I didn't make any kicks. That was Vinatieri that made that kick in 4 inches of snow. You got to have good players. And as a coach, you want to give your players a chance to win. You want to put them in a position where if they go out there and play well, they'll have a chance to win. That's what Coach Parcells taught me is there's always a way to win. You just got to figure out what it is, and you have to give the players a chance.
They don't name it the Star Trophy. It's named the Lombardi Trophy.
Maybe they should name it the Brady Trophy. He won 7 of them.
Oh, should we change the name to the Brady Trophy?
No.
Wow.
No.
Look at
Belichick throwing
being modest.
Roses at a quarterback that he had an up and down relationship with. I guess when you step away from it, you go, yeah, that dude made me famous.
Well, yeah, I think they're okay now. But he's being modest, too. Was Vinatieri making the kicks?
Yeah, I can't believe you brought a kicker's name in there, but okay.
It was after like 75 names. He went back to like the Giants with Parcells. I mean, goodness, just get to what you want to talk about, Belichick.
All right, name it the Brady Trophy. Lombardi Trophy's good enough. You can't take that away from Lombardi. Seriously.
Lombardi he never won a Super Bowl. Vince Lombardi.
Come on, man. Take it away from Lombardi. Poor guys. He's great. Can't even defend himself.
How many championships did Lombardi win?
He won a lot.
Oh, he was a 2-time Super Bowl champion.
Yeah.
I'm wrong.
Yeah, well, I thought you were just kidding.
No, I thought
he won a Super Bowl champion.
He never won a Lombardi Trophy is what I meant. I didn't realize
they named Lombardi Trophy.
I thought they named the Lombardi Trophy after him when the Super Bowl started, but I guess they named it the Lombardi Trophy after the second. When did they name it the Lombardi Trophy? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, but it had to be after his career.
Coming up later on the 12 o'clock hour, we get to when it was named the Lombardi Trophy with Bill
That's the weirdest questions. They called it Lombardi Trophy before he won one?
No,
he was a legacy guy.
They started it in 1970 after he died.
All right, there you go. He had to die.
So I meant
it was an honoree.
So he never won a Lombardi
but
Trophy.
He was the legendary sideline coach. Like there was nobody else that had that kind of sideline. Well, Paul Brown, guys like that. Then Hank Stram later. Those legendary guys. Nick Sirianni. All right, what's next, Ray?
I've almost lost the desire to continue here. All right, let's finish up with Micah Shrewsbury and a hilarious post-game conversation with the media. Of course, you were former Penn State
traitor,
coach.
This guy, I call him.
Now the head coach at Notre Dame.
Yeah, hate this guy.
Okay, well, aside from your hatred of the guy, you're not the only one apparently, because in-game he received the text from an unknown number, and he broke it down with the press following the game.
I got this text at 10:15, so obviously the game was still going. Whoever sent this, I appreciate you. Thank you for being cool. WTF, am I watching? Do you have any plays written up? Because, holy S, your team is unorganized as hell. What are they paying you for? I'm glad it didn't have a name attached to it. But that right there, fellas, is a lesson in humility. As good as you feel, some people think you stink.
That's an example how random tests can get under your skin. It's also an example of what we do sometimes when people rip us. But I got no love for that dude, right?
Why is that?
Love for that dude.
Because he's a traitor.
He started to build a program at Penn State in 2 years. He got to the tournament, and then he bailed right away to go to Notre Dame. I'm going, really? Notre Dame? That's a better situation than you building a program there? Like, your colleagues are winning national championships all around you at Penn State. What are they doing at Notre Dame? Well, they played for one. All right. Get it. Come on.
It's almost the equivalent of Ray Dunn choosing Temple over Penn State. You know?
No, it's not that.
You've had a banner segment.
Right, Notre Dame.
Let's
Notre
send
Dame.
this one in for the Marconi.
Notre Dame's a little loftier than Temple, but, 610-632-09. But I went there for the journalism program.
Notre Dame's better than Penn State.
I went to the journalism program. That's why I went to Temple.
That is.
I like
why I went. There was no better college for me.
Look at me causing the fight and then just back. I just threw gasoline and backed away.
It's a true fact. He can fight it. You can get upset over it. Mock it all you want.
Penn State apparently didn't have a journalism program. It's only,
if I want to be in the middle of
funded by
nowhere.
a multimillionaire who did 5 successful television shows. He put like $1 zillion into it. But I'm sure they don't have any facilities at Penn State.
Who's Luke Klein?
What?
You're like, oh, it's funded by this.
Donald
it's the Luke Klein. I'm telling you got that at Temple too.
Who's Luke Klein?
That's the Klein.
It's the Klein School.
Well, who
is
he?
Incredibly successful in television. You want to go in the same
Luke
conversation?
Klein? I know who Donald Belisario is.
Yeah, you know that because you're a Penn State guy.
No, I know him I used to watch his TV shows.
Yeah, and you watch Luke Klein without knowing it.
Well, who's Luke Klein? Tell me.
Local television. That's all he did was in Philadelphia. He was legendary. Okay, whatever.
He was legendary. He was legend.
What did I do?
Yeah.
What did I do?
Back to the refs.
Ray fights for this. Donald Belisario. Let's see. Let me just get his TV shows here. I'm putting him against Luke Klein did what?
I don't know,
He
4
did,
different CBS stations.
The Bowling for Dollars. What did he
Co-founded Gateway Communications. He was producer of Phillies baseball telecast for 15 years. You literally consumed his stuff without knowing it.
Okay, I apologize.
All right. We got to get back to the ref conversation.
Magnum PI, Tales of the Go Monkey, Airwolf, Quantum Leap, JAG, NCIS.
We need a ref here.
No, that's no good. Mike Missanelli show back after this.
Tyrone Johnson.
This team does it week after week, and we
It's 12:14, Mike Missanelli Show. 97.5 The Fanatic. Coming up in 10 minutes, Tory Smith, multiple Super Bowl ring wearer. Tory Smith, and the last time the Eagles won one, of course, he was on that squad. This is a very interesting time, the weeks that lead up to the Super Bowl and how they prepare and how you process and all that kind of stuff. I don't know, like, how do they deal with tickets? It's a tough ticket to get. The players get them. The league gets them. The coaches get them. Anybody connected with the league will get the tickets. What is the do you know the landscape here on Eagle players getting Super Bowl tickets, how many they get?
I do not know that information. I mean, I would assume they at least get 2, but I don't know how much more
They probably get more than 2.
Yeah.
I would think they get more than 2.
But I know that season ticket holders were a little upset because the Eagles do a lottery.
Yeah.
And they've been now to how many Super Bowls? 80, 04,
yeah,
17, 22. This is the 5th Super Bowl, and there's people I know who have had season tickets for 30, 40 years and didn't get the lottery again. So I don't know if it's a weighted system, but
should be a weighted system. The longer you're in, the more money you've poured into tickets, you should get a priority, no?
I would think so, but I don't know if that's how they do it. It may just be a completely random lottery.
All right, the Eagles have opened the practice window for Brandon Graham, by the way, which means that would make him eligible to play in the Super Bowl.
I would think even a 60 to 70% Brandon Graham is going to give you more than what Bryce Huff's giving you. Bryce Huff doesn't play special teams. He's played very limited reps. I'd be okay with rolling out BG and sitting Bryce Huff.
I really think you have to do it. I really do. I think he can help you more than Huff, even if he's not full strength. And you're asking him to play 10 snaps. During those 10 snaps, he can make him play because he knows how to make a play. So, and the other thing is the loyalty of it. Yeah, I get that it should be secondary, but I would more think that he would be able to make a play in 10 snaps. All right, let's go back to the phones and talk to Wade in South Philly. Wade, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Wade?
Hey, what's up, Mike?
What's going on, man?
Long time.
How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Just want to say, like, you and back in the day, you and Ty, like, basically got me through COVID, and you guys didn't even have sports to talk about. Some of the best radio I've ever heard.
Thank you. I'm glad you said that because I don't know how we did it, to be honest.
I don't know how you did it either.
No, we came in every day, too. While people were staying at home, we figured out a way to still come into the studio because we were on TV every day. And Tyrone was in the booth, and I was in here, and we never really crossed in the same airspace. So we figured it out somehow. And yeah, well, thank you for saying that.
When we all needed like just 4 hours of entertainment, you know what I mean? We're all sitting home with nothing to do. Like, great radio.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So to my Eagles point, I just think that this team is built different than any other team in the NFL. I think the NFL, this NFL is built to be efficient in the run game and explosive in the pass game, hence why you want an edge rusher, a lockdown corner. We're explosive in the run game and efficient in the pass game. And I just think I know Spagnuolo and Reed are great. I just think it throws coaches for a loop because no team, maybe Baltimore, is built like us.
I agree. Listen, I think they're really built well. The fact that they're a 1.5 underdog is respect for the Chiefs. They've done it before. I think the Chiefs have a dangerous quarterback who can make. I mean, that's my worry. I have two worries. They have a really savvy defensive coordinator who I think knows how to play Jalen Hurts, and the other thing is their quarterback makes plays where you go, no, it's impossible.
Yep. And enough with the refs already. Like, this is not rigged. The refs do not. I will say Mahomes will bait the refs into giving him calls, but that's like flopping in the NBA. Like,
it's gamesmanship.
In real time, you're going to get that flag.
It's gamesmanship, and if you get it, it's the official's fault for giving it to you. It's like, I don't blame the guy.
Yeah. Like Mahomes is a master at doing that. Like sprinting to the sideline and right before he gets there, slowing up so he gets the hit.
Yeah, it's Bush League. Yeah, it's terrible. I can't stand it.
Hey, wait, give me 3 for Luke Bryan tickets here with you. Jalen Hurts, of course, went to Oklahoma. Give me 3 names from Oklahoma.
Oh, man. Oklahoma. Who was their stud running back in the day? Why can't I think of him? Wow, I'm drawing a blank, and this is like my favorite game ever. And Oklahoma is just a bad school for me.
Yeah, Oklahoma. Wow, there was Spencer Tillman.
Spencer Rattler.
So Rattler, the quarterback.
Sammy Sleeves.
Sammy Bradford.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good one.
It didn't AP.
Keith Jackson from the old Eagles.
Adrian Peterson.
Oh, that's
right?
Adrian Peterson went to Oklahoma.
Yeah, AP, man. That's got to be the
He's
number
the
one.
number one guy.
It's Marco Murray.
Was Barry Switzer an Oklahoma
Marco
guy?
Murray went to Barry Switzer. Excellent.
That's a good one.
Lincoln Riley.
Jalen Hurts. you
Caleb
mentioned.
Williams.
Lane Johnson? Was he an
Lane
Oklahoma
Johnson,
guy?
yes. Well, you can't
We can't
have Lane
use
now.
them, but
Grant
still.
Calcaterra before he went to SMU.
I still have to figure out at the break.
Barry Switzer's got to be the number one.
I went to get coffee. I came back in.
Trey Aikman.
Ray was sneaking out of here with like a devilish grin right near my area. So I got to figure out what was going on. I feel like he's up to something.
Devilish grin.
Yeah, Mike and I talking about it. I was like, you know what? I'm done taking those coffee walks with Bill. They're not helping our chemistry. I can't stand the guy.
Something happened. I'm going to find out. And we got Tory Smith coming up.
Tory Smith is coming up in 5 minutes' time after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Looking at the rematch. I'm Ray Dunn. And this update's brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app today. 2 years later, it's the Eagles and Chiefs matching up once more in the Super Bowl. While some of the core names remain the same, Eagles returned less than half the roster that fell 3 points shy of the Chiefs in Super Bowl 57. And as you look back at that Super Bowl, so is head coach Nick Sirianni saying he learned a couple of lessons from that game.
We have notes that we're going through and that we've been going through, a couple tweaks here and there, and a couple things that will stay the same. But of course, anytime you go through any situation like that, you take notes like that.
The note's going to help them prepare. So is practice today as they return to the practice field for Super Bowl 59 today. Big news in the last 20 minutes here. Brandon Graham, they've opened the 21-day practice window for him to return from injured reserve. Open the door for the potential that he could play in the Super Bowl. Coming up in less than 5 minutes, Tory Smith, Super Bowl champion with the Eagles from Super Bowl 52, will join us here on the show. Last night, Sixers won their fourth in a row with a 117-104 win over the Kings. The Flyers lost 5-0 to the Devils. This update's brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone. It's time to say goodnight to that check engine light with the free AutoZone Fix Finder service. It'll help troubleshoot the likely cause of your light for free. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone. I'm Ray Dunn on the home of the 76ers and the Flyers. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Ricky Vitalico.
Credit is due in a lot of different places right now. Vic Fangio has gotten the credit pretty much all season long.
He has a lot to say about the Birds.
Nick has not. Nick really hasn't. I think ever since that Browns game, he has kind of turned things around in a positive direction for everybody that watches his team, for the people on that team, and for the fan base, period.
12:27, Mike Missanelli Show. We get Tory Smith in a few seconds. By the way, Florida, we had Emmett Smith we forgot about.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was
Oklahoma, the classic, is he a Hall of Famer, Billy Sims? With Oklahoma, like a classic running back in the day. He had some like Barry Switzer days. Troy Aikman started there, by the way. You know
I saw that. Somebody wrote that in the YouTube.
Started there before he went to UCLA. Didn't like Barry Switzer.
Yeah, I can't believe you're right.
Emmett.
We forgot Emmett, though. That's a
Emmett.
bad miss.
Florida. Got to be a number one guy in Florida, huh? How about Aaron Hernandez? The notorious Aaron Hernandez went to Florida.
Emmett Smith story. Last Super Bowl I was at.
Mm-hmm.
Emmett Smith gets on the elevator, and there's a woman on the elevator with her husband. Oh, my, Emmett Smith, can you take a picture with me? And he goes, I'm not working right now.
Yeah.
Like, basically, like, leave me alone.
Yeah, a lot of people do that, but not our next guest. He's a class act, and he's got 2 Super Bowl rings. And I wonder, what do you think gets the most use for Tory Smith?
Which ring?
Yeah, which ring gets the most use? The Eagles ring or the Ravens ring?
Oh, better be the Eagles one.
Let's see.
Come on now.
It's got the most use. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, former Eagle wide receiver, former Ravens wide receiver with 2 Super Bowl wins, the great Tory Smith. Hello, Tory.
What's going on? How y'all doing?
Good, man. How you doing? I got to ask you, like, the calm before the storm here, and if you've been through this, the gap of days where you have to get ready for a Super Bowl. What is that like?
Oh, man, you're just trying to focus on getting as healthy as possible and just feeling good. You know, that's really what it's all about. You don't overthink it. You don't over-prepare. Just want to go out and make sure you're taking care of your body because that is the last little bit of break that you're going to have. And try to get your family in order, right? That's probably the biggest thing that I think is really underrated is the amount of stress family can put on you in the Super Bowl.
Because everybody wants tickets, right?
Right. You talk about tickets, whether it's arrangements or whatever it is. Now, I guess it's a lot easier now with digital because you can just text people their tickets. But, I mean, just getting all that stuff out of the way so then when the time comes, you can just focus on the game.
All right, so let's get back to your experience. Do you have to line up hotels and stuff? How many tickets do you get as a player, first of all?
Well, if I remember right, I believe they let you buy 15.
They let you buy 15.
Yeah, first of all, nothing.
They have nothing free in the NFL.
You don't you don't get a couple comp tickets?
Yeah, I think you know what? I think you actually do get 2 comps, but you pay the taxes on them.
Okay.
But you know, when you're buying these tickets, I mean, they aren't cheap. So I mean, if you're going and you're bringing 15 family members, you're probably talking 20, 30 grand.
All right, so what do you do? 20, 30 grand, my God. And so what do you tell them you got to make your own arrangements, or do you like have that in also?
Well, it just depends on the person and their family. You know, if you grow up like I grew up, shoot, if I don't pay for it, they ain't coming. You know, it just all depends on everyone's family situation. But I'll tell you what, the team does make it easy by making sure that you know they have rooms set up at the team hotel. So they try to make it easier on you, so you don't have to go and try to figure things out in terms of arrangements and where people can go.
All right, so now it's a little easier pace. The next week, now you start to get serious with the game plan and the practice and getting there and having to deal with the media and all that kind of stuff. Do you guys have people that lay that out for you when you get to the following week, a few days before the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of just know that's just the schedule you're on. You know, that it's just what comes with the territory. I remember Alshon being highly upset and bored at the process when we were going through it, and it does get on your nerves because you're so used to routine, right? I think people don't. That's an athlete thing in general, and I always break it down to people like, hey, as long as you've been playing sports since you've been 6, 7 years old, you always knew what it looked like, right? Heading into the weekend, preparing, practice, and all of that. Well, you get to the Super Bowl, and now everything changes. The practice schedule's off. You're traveling. You're commuting everywhere. You have to deal with these long press conferences, and it is a little bit of a distraction. But to me, it's not that big. It's not as big a deal as everyone makes it seem. It's annoying, right? But you still have your free time to relax and really take it all in and enjoy the city as well.
No, I think you have a good perspective. But Alshon got a little hinky about it.
Man, listen, I was dying laughing. He was not feeling that process. He was over it, just ready to get to the game because it's only but so many times you can be asked, "Hey, man, what's it feel like to be here?" Like,
yeah.
My goodness, man, there's been 1,000 times of this. So, you got to be a pro in all situations. But my man Alshon had reached his limit.
Yeah, those press conferences, like when you guys are at the podiums and stuff, I can imagine how annoying that would be for players. But let's look at this game now itself. And you've been through this Eagle season. You see what the Chiefs have done. The Chiefs are a slight favorite in that game. Do you think that's merited?
I think just because it's the Chiefs, right? I think they consistently proven that, they're the big dog in the league overall. They play very well. They won tough games. So not surprised at all that they've given them the nod. But Vegas isn't always right? And I think, as a player, it means nothing to you what Vegas says. But, when it boils down to it, it allows you to build off the underdog narrative. But honestly, as a player, that's not something that really bothers you.
When you look at the Eagles, is this Eagle team better than your team?
Oh, this is a really good team. I think when you look at every area of this roster, I think this roster probably is a little bit better than ours. Especially when you add Saquon in the mix, right? I think this roster is a little better than the one that we had, and I think they have the talent and the leadership and the ability to get it done. But and I'm not trying to jinx them when I say this, but the reality of it is the best teams don't always win. The hottest team wins. And I think this team has both going for them right now in terms of the way they're playing, the way Jalen Hurts is playing, and the way that defense is firing off the ball. So it's going to be fun to watch them go out there and compete. And I think this is the year they get it done.
The Eagles have never lost a Super Bowl with Carson Wentz on the bench.
That's funny.
Oh, man, that was a cheap shot.
That's funny.
That was wrong, man. I'm sorry. That was wrong. I was throwing the
Hey, that's fine. I love Carson to death, man. I was talking to somebody about this yesterday. You can't mention this Eagles' first Super Bowl without mentioning Carson Wentz.
I know. You're right.
The narrative changes, right, and things happen fast, but the reality of it is Carson Wentz was one healthy game away from being MVP, and the entire city of Philadelphia and our team had a second of doubt when he went down. Anyone that thought that we were going to be magically winning it with Foles in is a liar, right? I was there. We lived it, right? But I think, when we got it turned around and, Foles was able to be who he's always been, it was huge. Credit to Howie Roseman for getting it done, knowing that you got to have a capable backup there. But, Carson was definitely a valuable piece.
Yeah, there's no question. And I took a cheap shot, and I'm ashamed of myself. But here's the thing. When he goes down, you just admitted it. When he went down, you go, you sag a little bit. Even as a player, you go, uh-oh. So what made you think that Foles could pull it? What was the moment that you thought Foles could pull this thing off?
I think once we got past the Falcons in that tough game, you just know Foles, right? Foles is the calmest dude ever, right? And he's just like, he's never rattled, and you always feel like you have a chance with him. And I just feel like he's one of those things where he just has to build. People forgot, like, Foles wasn't even practicing for like a month or two, when he was recovering with his arm bothering him. So it just took time to get going. And like I said, who cares about the story at this point? He got it done. But I think with him, it's his demeanor, his leadership abilities. It's like, man, how can you doubt him?
Talking to Tory Smith, played with, of course, on the victorious Eagles Super Bowl team and also the Ravens. All right, so you know what they say about the Eagles, and you know what they've said. Although last week I think Jalen Hurts kind of kicked that whole premise in the butt, where they said he couldn't throw, and passing game was the weakness, and the whole bit. You see the way the Eagles play offense. The other side has a defensive coordinator who in the past has bothered him with the blitz, but also they're pretty good against the run, although this is a different running back. So how do you assess what the Eagles' strengths versus what Kansas City does here?
I think you have to go out there and play the game. Coach Spags knows. I had the opportunity to play with him when I was with the Ravens, and he's going to heat it up. He's going to blitz. He's going to send a lot of exotic blitzes, and he's going to try to get Jalen to make some bad decisions. But this Eagles team can run the football, and they're going to be committed to it. And so because of that, you're going to give yourself the flexibility to still open things up on the back end. And there's no quarterback in this league that gets criticized more than Jalen Hurts for just existing, right? And I think he's, well, maybe Dak Prescott, but I think with Jalen, like, he's a very good player that has proven that he can play at an MVP level. He's proven that he can be the reason why your team wins with his arm. He's proven that he can get it done with his legs, and all he does is win. Right? I think he's unfairly criticized, and I think he's held to a standard that doesn't make sense because the team still goes out and wins. Right? I think he doesn't get the same credibility that some other great quarterbacks get when their teams play well. Right? If Jalen doesn't have his best game and the Eagles still win, it's, oh man, are they going to be able to win because of Jalen? But they didn't say the same thing when you have any of these quarterbacks out here. You can go from Dak, you can go to Josh Allen, right, to when their teams win and they don't perform their best, right? I think the biggest thing is when you talk about franchise quarterbacks, it's like, can you win because this guy is your quarterback? And I think you can win because Jalen Hurts is your quarterback. And I think he's proven it. He's shown that he can play at an MVP level. He showed that his leadership ability is huge. And the way he played last week, I mean, if anyone had questions before, I mean, all doubt should be removed. He played a big-time game last week, and I see no reason why his momentum wouldn't continue.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Tory, with Jalen Hurts. But I want to bring up a topic that may get Mike upset because the callers kind of have been driving this topic today, that the Kansas City Chiefs seem to get all of the penalty calls from the referees in the NFL. Now, as a former player that watches these games, do you think the Chiefs are getting more calls than other teams get?
Honestly, you're asking the wrong guy. I'm not really a guy that complains about the refs too much.
You're right with Mike on that.
Good for you,
Yeah, you're right with Mike on that.
Yeah, I don't really complain about the refs too much because, I mean, listen, all the complaining you do, I haven't had a ref change a call in my favor in my entire life, not even coaching these 10-year-old kids. So it's like I don't waste my time worrying about it. But I will tell you this, I do know there's a such thing as veteran privilege at the quarterback position. So if I was a defensive lineman playing for the Eagles this week, I'd make sure I'd watch my landing on the quarterback, right? Like, there's just certain things that, they get that privilege. I was in Baltimore. We used to have battles with Tom Brady all the time. There were certain calls you just knew that, hey, you might be able to get away with that with Cam Newton, but that's not going to work versus Tom Brady, right? So you have to make sure that you're conscious of certain things, but you don't necessarily change the way you play. But that little bit of extraness that guys like to add at the end of plays, you kind of try to stay away from it. But I'm not a person that goes down the alley complaining about referees because when you complain about them, that's when it comes back to get you, right? And you're worried about all these other things, man. When you control what you can control, play the way you're supposed to play, the game will not be left in the refs' hands, and that's the way I believe all sports should be played.
I'd say you believe you give the refs too much power if you think that way, and most of the calls even out. But here's what I will say. Like, Mahomes comes off as kind of this, a weaker physical type of wafy quarterback. Jalen is hardy. Jalen can squat like 1,000,000 pounds. Is it possible referees look at it and go, he could take it, and the other guy, man, looks like he's going to fall apart if he gets hit?
I think in their mind, they could say it doesn't, but in their mind, I'm telling you, I think it plays a factor. I watched Cam Newton about get split in half when I played with him, and the ref was like, oh, man. That's a big guy right there. He's fine, right? That's the way it felt.
Yeah.
Right? But there's some other quarterbacks where they get hit the same way and look like somebody threw a bomb on the field. So, I mean, it's one of them things where you just have to roll with the punch, and I think it plays with their eyes at times. I don't think it's necessarily intentional by them, but sometimes when a player may not – and, by the way, Patrick Mahomes isn't a small person, right?
He's not, but he kind of looks like
he's not as stout as Jalen is.
Yeah.
So sometimes when that player gets tossed, it looks a little different, and that just plays those mind tricks with the refs at times.
Yeah, he kind of dances around like he's like Tinkerbell sometimes,
Right.
And that's I think it fools officials. All right, Tory, the moment of truth. You got a prediction for this game?
I think the Eagles win, and I think they win by 10. I think the Eagles are going to come out, establish the run game. The key in the game is going to be just simply protecting the football. Jalen's going to have the opportunity to make plays with his legs and his feet. He has to use his legs. When they're blitzing and doing those things, it's like you're not going to be able to sit in the pocket and try to wait for things to happen down the field. You know, they have one less person back there. He's going to use his legs. He's going to make some big-time throws on time, right? I think they're going to have a great blitz plan offensively to be able to handle it. And you still have the opportunity with Saquon to run the ball and create all kinds of plays all over the place. So just like last week, when Saquon got that first run and he took off and scored, I was like, this is a huge play, not only for this team, but for Jalen Hurts, because now I feel like the pressure was like off. Like the offense is doing fine. Now you can just go out there and ball, and you play lights out. And I expect a similar scenario. It'd be great if Saquon decided to score on his first carry, but you know, I think it's a similar scenario. This team being physical, dominating at the point of attack, and then letting the game just come to them and not going out and trying to force anything. I think Jalen's going to play great and get it done.
All right. Sounds good. Tory Smith, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
I appreciate that.
All right, there he is. Tory Smith. I
love it.
Tory, like you turn up, you can make Tory Mike Missanelli and his stance on
the refs.
On the officials. See, ballers understand.
Yeah. And
you know, baller to baller. You know, we understand it.
He kind of agreed with both of us because what I had said was that Mahomes gets the calls that Jalen Hurts doesn't.
Well, he said that's just executive privilege.
Yes, but in this Super Bowl.
And that goes with any sport.
But in this Super Bowl, I am urging the NFL to give the same amount of respect to Jalen Hurts that you give Patrick Mahomes. On the biggest scale, in the biggest game of the entire season, you should not lean veteran privilege.
Here's what I advise Jalen to do. Slow up before he gets out of bounds. Let the guy hit him. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Andrew Salciunas.
This season is one that we will forever remember.
47, Mike Missanelli Show. Rematch in the Super Bowl between Chiefs and the Eagles. Known the first time as the Kelsey Bowl. We had that storyline, the Kelsey brothers. Nick Sirianni crying when Chris Stapleton brought him to tears during his rendition of the national anthem.
Brought me to tears, too, watching Nick cry.
They had the turf issues.
Man, those turf issues.
Don Reddick, remember what he said?
I don't
Worst field I've ever played on.
Well, the problem was, and I don't listen. I know Philadelphia fans. We do tend to skew everything how it's against us. It's against us. But that field, and it wasn't done intentionally. I'm not saying it was a conspiracy or anything like that. But that field being in the condition it was slowed down their pass rush. You saw Reddick was unable to get any footing. That was a team that had 70 damn sacks. Set a record, franchise record, and they couldn't get to Mahomes because they couldn't get any damn traction. That bothered me, man. So hopefully no issues, right? We're indoors in New Orleans.
Rihanna. Preggers.
I remember that. And no one knew she was pregnant until that performance, right? Like that was kind of a surprise when she came out with the belly.
Yeah. Kylie Kelsey. Preggers.
At the Super Bowl she was?
Uh-huh. The holding penalty, of course.
James
Juju Smith-Schuster.
You know,
Final drive.
In the
clear case of a jersey grab that caused restriction, said Carl Cheffers, the lead referee in the game.
Bad call. It's a bad call. You don't call that penalty.
It was a penalty. You just don't. You didn't think it should be called at that time of the game.
Well, I also don't think that it impacted that play. Mahomes, that was not going to be caught. It was just.
Well, Bradbury said, I pulled the jersey. They called holding. I was hoping they would let it ride, but it was holding.
I just looked at it as just like a baseball umpire, Mike. When you're calling balls and strikes a certain way, you got to be consistent. That was not a consistent call with the way they had been calling that game. That's why I didn't like it.
And then, of course, the insult days later. Smith-Schuster posted a Valentine's card with Bradbury's face reading, I'll hold you when it matters.
And then Juju did the TikTok video, right? A.J. Brown wasn't a fan of that one.
610-632-0975. We got Ish in Levittown. What's up, Ish? Tell me about those officials picking on the poor Eagles. Go ahead.
Hey, Mike, I'm sorry. You have me a little frustrated today. But,
of course I do.
Get him, Ish. Get him.
This is what I do every day because I try to think of a way to get you frustrated.
Bill is totally right. They give Patrick Mahomes these calls that give them an extra 15 yards or 5 yards, and those plays add up. And those yards add up, and that gives him either a chance to kick a field goal or throw a touchdown. These plays matter. So the refs do play a big part in this game, and I would love to see the refs that will be managing this game to see if they have like any connection towards the like if they have refs any of the Chiefs games before. But it does matter. If the Eagles lose off of a play or a penalty call, we should be complaining about it. Like 2 years ago when the holding call on Bradbury, that was the last play you're going to call that? It just doesn't make sense. I don't understand how you're okay with it.
Get him, Ish.
I just don't understand.
Come on, Ish. Get past the nonsense with these officials.
Well, you can't
if
see.
If your team going to outplay the Chiefs, they're going to win the game.
You can't see it on the radio, but Mike has a Mahomes jersey underneath his sweatshirt.
Yeah. All right, Ish, listen. You like Luke Bryan?
Yeah, I like Luke Bryan. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to give you a college. You got to give me the first three names that come up with this college. Michigan.
Okay.
Michigan.
Jim Harbaugh. Michael Pratt, the running back.
Michael who?
Michael Pratt. He's a running back.
Michael Pratt ain't no running back.
Even if he was, that's not. Yeah. Out of all the Michigan names, Ish?
Yeah, come on, man. Michael Pratt.
I think you got to hit the buzzer.
How about the guy that won the Heisman Trophy? Is she's on
Michael Hart. My bad, Michael Hart.
Michael Hart.
Yeah, Michael Hart.
Michael Hart works. All right, I'll give you. You need one more.
And
I just gave you a big hint.
Jalen Rose.
That's all right. I give
Fab
it to
Five.
him. Jalen Rose. He goes Fab Five for his last one.
You could have gone any of the Fab Five, but I think you can't be in the running without saying Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
How do you not say Brady?
How do you not say Desmond Howard?
Desmond Howard, Super Bowl MVP,
I tried
right?
to give him it. I said Heisman Trophy winner on TV now.
And he was a Super Bowl MVP, I believe.
Yeah.
Right? Wasn't he one of the first special teams players to win the Super Bowl MVP, I believe?
There's so many, man.
Fab Five, little Chris Webber.
Go to the kid, the lineman for the Lions.
Who?
The kid was their number one pick. It was out this year.
Hutchinson?
Oh,
Hutchinson.
Aiden Hutchinson. Yeah. That was a big loss for them this
You
year.
can go to Jabril Peppers, who just got in trouble, just got out of trouble. You can go to John Runyon and his kid. For crying out loud. You can go Tyrone Wheatley, Elvis Gerbach.
There's a lot of them.
A couple of wide receivers in there, too.
You go with your buddy Dave Portnoy, big Michigan guy.
I have no idea who that is. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Looking at the rematch, I'm right done with this Fanatic Sports Update. 2 years later, it's the Eagles and Chiefs matching up once more in the Super Bowl, while some of the core names remain the same. The Eagles return less than half the roster, fell 3 points shy of the Chiefs in Super Bowl 57. Nonetheless, as you take a look at what may be different this time around, head coach Nick Sirianni has taken notes from that first experience and applying it now to his second Super Bowl.
We have notes that we're going through and that we've been going through, a couple tweaks here and there, and a couple things that will stay the same. But of course, anytime you go through any situation like that, you take notes like that.
A part of those notes lead to the preparation that begins today on the practice field for Super Bowl 59. On that practice field, potentially Brandon Graham, as his practice window has been opened to bring him off of IR and for him to potentially play against the Chiefs in Super Bowl 59 down in New Orleans. Last night, 76ers won their fourth in a row with a 117-104 win over the Kings behind 30 points from Tyrese Maxey, and the Flyers lost 5-0 to the Devils. This update brought to you by ExpressPros.com. Make hiring easier with workforce experts. Let the people at Express Employment Professionals find you the right fit. Hiring is about people, not algorithms. Visit ExpressPros.com. I'm Ray Dunn on the home of the 76ers and Flyers. 97.5 The Fanatic, 97.5thefanatic.com.
1 o'clock hour of Mike Missanelli Show. You are listening to WPEN and WPEN HD1, a Beasley Media Group station. 12 o'clock hour, by the way, was brought to us by Service First Heating and Air Conditioning. 0% financing for 72 months, $500 rebate when you purchase a complete cooling and heating system from Service First. Learn more at ServiceFirstHVAC.com. By the way, we are broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. All right. Let's get to the phones because I want to discuss this. The officials are against us, and they're going to get more calls, and we're worried about the calls. And Mahomes is a flopper. And come on, man.
Wait,
if you believe in your squad, believe in your squad.
But when you say the officials are against us, now I'm not saying that I agree with this narrative, but I don't think people are saying the officials are against the Eagles. People are saying the officials are in favor of the Chiefs. I think there's a difference there. It's not this Philadelphia is hated on.
Why would the officials be in favor of the Chiefs? What sense does that make? What do they get out of it?
I am not saying I agree with it.
Yes, you are.
I'm not.
Tacitly, you're saying that.
But when it's hard when you watch the games all season long and you watch Patrick Mahomes and you watch the Kansas City Chiefs that they always seem to get the benefit of the doubt.
You're then saying that the NFL hierarchy is influencing the officials to favor the Chiefs because if I'm an official, I go, yeah, okay, you got extra money for me? So follow the money, Bill. This is like Watergate. All right, follow the money before you make that claim.
Again, I'm not pushing the conspiracy theory, but if you're the NFL and you're a business and you're about making dollars, who's the biggest star in the NFL? It's Patrick Mahomes. Who's the biggest national star, not athlete, in the NFL? It's probably Travis Kelce because he's dating Taylor Swift. So how great of it is for business to have Kelce and Swift and Mahomes and all that?
We've already gone down that road. So now the game is here. So they're no longer building up anything. It is what it is right now. So how do you make the case that they still want the Chiefs to win?
Yeah. And look, I'm doing this tongue in cheek a little bit. But I do think that Mahomes gets the calls because of who he is.
You're fueling the masses is what you're doing.
But
you're fueling them against me, which is something you love to do.
But I do think, like Tory Smith told us earlier, the veteran stars are going to get the benefit of the doubt. Like Brady used to get the benefit of the doubt. Mahomes is going to get it because he's earned it. I just want them to call it straight. Give Hurst the same benefit on Sunday in 10 days.
All righty. Let's go. Listen, a lot of people have the same opinion. Johnny's calling from Florida. Johnny, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, John?
Mike, Bill, good afternoon, guys.
How are you, buddy?
Good, man. Good. Love the show. Hey, listen, I don't want to go back and forth. I just want to give you a quick stat because my brother's like y'all, like Mike here. Why would they throw the game for Pat? I don't want to get into that. Who cares? Here's what I see.
Who benefits? K Bono.
Right.
Qui Bono. Who benefits?
Listen, Mike, hear me out here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Listen, first things first. The Eagles are markedly better at every position except passing quarterback. Now, if you say running quarterback, give me Jalen. If you're a passer, that's the only minus I see, offensive, defensive lines, etc. But let's get back to it. The stat says in 11 playoff games where the Chiefs had less opponents, the roughing the passer, the personal fouls, when they had the 11 straight games with less penalties, they won. They were victorious. So what scares it, and I want to get to my last point, keep that in mind, 11 straight games, okay? For whatever reason they throw the game, it seems to favor the Chiefs. Lastly, I took out a preseason bet. I do it every year the last 15 years, $50 to $100, plus 1750 odds. So if I wait and ride, it's $1,000. All right. When we go into the Washington game, you could early cash and get cold feet. It would pay me $250. Am I a fraud, or is it a violation to cash this thing now, knowing the referee potential bias? Even though I'm a fan, money in the good.
No,
at $400.
No, it's not a violation.
Nah, take the money and run.
Yeah. Listen, you know what I think. I bet against the Sixers last night. Come on.
Well, listen, I appreciate it.
All right, man. Hey, Johnny, you want to try to play for Luke Bryan tickets?
No, I'm out, brother. Y'all be good.
He's out.
Thanks, Johnny.
No Luke.
No Luke.
And I'm thinking Florida's got to be a Luke state, no? You think a little bit of Luke state?
Yeah, we probably don't want to have to come up here.
Schlep up here?
I got a similar gambling dilemma that Johnny has because I put money on the Eagles before the season started.
You did.
To win the Super Bowl. And the odds were very good where I would get a nice chunk of change if they win. And my question is, I'm not cashing it out, but do I throw a little shekel on the Chiefs just so that I win something? Like, do I go Chiefs money line, hedge the bet a little bit, and now I'm going to win no matter what? Or do I let it ride?
You let it ride.
How come you don't want Johnny to let it ride?
Well,
it's like my money's not green or something.
So what would explain this to me again? You already have the bet in. You're gonna cash in if the Eagles win. You want to change that bet somehow?
So before the season, I put 3 separate bets.
Yeah.
Eagles win the NFC East, already cashed in. Eagles win the NFC, already cashed in. Eagles win the Super Bowl. That one was what I put the most money on. That had the best odds, or the worst odds, depending on how you look at it. The biggest payout. So do I hedge my bet now and put a nice little shekel on the Chiefs money line I make money no matter what?
You can't hedge your bet now. You've won the first 2 bold bets.
Yeah.
Why would you hedge on the third? You jinx it.
I'm leaning towards not doing anything. But if the Eagles win, not only am I going to feel good because they won, I have a nice little.
It's like the Pope of Greenwich Village when Mickey Rourke bet the win, place, and show. You jinxed it, Charlie.
I watched that recently because of you.
Did you? What do you think?
Burt Young was good at it.
Bedbug Eddie?
Yeah. I liked him.
Let's get on Mike in Lansdale. Mike, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Mike. Hey, Mike.
What's going on?
Hey, Mike, hold on a second because I went. Let me put you on hold there. I went right through a break. I'm losing my discipline here.
You're losing your edge.
610-632-0975. We'll be back after this with your calls. 111, Mike Missanelli Show. Love this open.
Who is that?
Oh, who is this, right? I don't know who this is.
Baby? Baby?
Oh, it's Baby. BBY. Baby. BBY.
Got it.
All right. I'm just sure you have them on your iPhone stored. All right, so we're playing Give Me Two. Well, I've reduced it to Give Me Two in this final hour for a pair of Luke Bryan tickets. They're going to be there. The country tour is going to be Friday, June 6th at the Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. Good spot for a concert. For another chance to win tickets, our contest page is giving you a chance to do it as well, 975thefanatic.com. These tickets go on sale tomorrow at 10 a.m. via Ticketmaster, and the pre-sale is happening today until 10 p.m. The password for the pre-sale is Octave, Octave. But if you give me 3 and it's acceptable, or give me 2 now.
Yeah,
give me
just
2.
two.
If I give you a college an Eagle went to, you give me the first 2 names that pop in your head with that college, you will be qualified for it. And then at random later in the show, you'll be picked to win a pair of Luke Bryan tickets.
Yeah, not too bad.
It's pretty
and
good.
it's a fun game.
It is. All right, so let's go to Mike in Lansdale. Mike, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Mike.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
What's up, buddy?
I love the show. Listen every day on my route.
Thank you.
Before I make my Kellen Moore comment, I do want to preface it by saying I do think, although the Chiefs have the pedigree, the Eagles are the more talented team, and although the spread right now shows Kansas City, which obviously could change, I think that spread kind of reflects their pedigree. If the Eagles play like they did last weekend, I don't see them losing this game. Regardless, it's going to be a close game. I'm really looking forward to it. But I do have a small concern, in regards to Kellen Moore and Schefter's report that it appears he is the front runner and is going to take the job in New Orleans. 2 years ago, we were in a similar situation with Jonathan Gannon, and the defense blew that game in the second half, and he became the scapegoat for that game. And essentially, he's probably still public enemy number 1 in the city. So if something were to happen in the Super Bowl where the offense falters and we find out that Moore's taking the job, I could see the city basically pulling the same thing and making Kellen Moore the scapegoat. So I guess my main concern is the game's in New Orleans. That also makes it an interesting dynamic. So his wife's going to be down there with the kids, and maybe the job is already his, and they're kind of waiting to announce it. But she's going to be looking at schools. She's going to be looking at houses, neighborhoods. He's got to get a coaching staff together. Am I worried too much? Am I putting too much into this? But I can't help but look at the similarities from 2 years ago.
Yeah, Bill? I think you're looking a little bit too much into it, because the difference was with Jonathan Gannon is he kind of pulled the bait and switch on the Eagles. He told them that he wasn't leaving. If you remember, he even came out publicly and said to the media, I'm here, love me or hate me, whatever it was. I'm not going anywhere. And then they found out that he was secretly meeting with the Arizona Cardinals. And that's why, if you remember, they had to do that draft pick swap and everything as a penalty. I think Kellen Moore's been on the up and up with the Eagles. I don't think this is going to be a distraction for him. I thought what your concern was going to be, because I saw it on the board, is what my concern is, which is next year. I'm not worried about the Super Bowl. I think Kellen Moore is going to be doing everything he has to do. Make no mistake, as much as you want the Eagles to win, you don't think Kellen Moore wants a damn Super Bowl ring?
But here's what he's saying. This is what you're saying, Mike. The wife is down there. He's most likely to get the job. She's looking at places to live. She brings some brochures. Hey, Kellen, can you look at this for us? But that's what he's talking about.
Wait a week, though.
Well, I don't know, Mike. I think it's legit. If she's going to be down there, she's going to be at what spots are good to live down here. She'll go on tours, and then she'll want to discuss it with. I don't know.
I could see her enjoying the Super Bowl festivities more than that.
I think it's legit. I don't know, Mike.
It's just kind of ironic that the game's in New Orleans.
It is. It's an interesting point. All right, Mike, I'm going to give you the name of a college, Texas. Give me 2 that pop up. 2 names. University of Texas.
Oh, Ricky Williams.
Ricky Williams is one.
And I'm going to go with...
I'll give you a hint. Dream Team.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, too.
Oh, well, yeah, okay, Kevin Durant.
No, he wasn't on the dream team, but that qualifies. We'll give it to you. Kevin Durant's a good one.
You were going Vince Young. Yeah, Vince Young.
Vince Young, I was gone. I went Ricky, Vince Young. He went Ricky and Kevin Durant. Pretty solid.
By the way, I don't know if you knew this. Eagles fans booed Donovan McNabb because they didn't draft Ricky Williams. Did you know that one, Mike?
I don't think I heard that. Well, I just showed you a picture of me and a guy that actually created.
Well, your buddy
that
Angelo.
whole situation.
I'm assuming Angelo won't be down at the Super Bowl, right? Probably not.
No, he's retired, man. He's
a granddaddy now.
He's just enjoying life, doing nothing.
But that caller's point about Kellen. You really think that it'll be a distraction? This is with all the media responsibilities and everything else.
He's probably everybody's turned down this job. He's not going to turn it down.
I think he's going to get it.
So the wife is down there. Hey, at least we got to discuss maybe where we live down here.
I think she would say, hey, I want to enjoy this too. I mean, it's fun for the families too, I would assume, the Super Bowl festivities.
I don't know if what would be possible if she would just be mum about their living situation if they get down there.
But my bigger concern is you're now going to have Jalen Hurts, 11th play caller in 10 years, going back to Alabama and then Oklahoma and then all his time with the Eagles.
They'll find somebody else.
He's going to lose his quarterback coach too, most likely, because Doug Nussmeier is going to follow Kellen.
That's right.
What do you mean it's all right?
It'll be fine.
This is the reason. Why do you think? You think it was a coincidence Jalen had his best year in 2022? The only season he had back-to-back coordinators?
How'd they do this year, the way they shaped that team? I think the same thing will be shaped next year.
I want continuity.
What their strength would be, the same strengths are going to be there.
It's just.
By the way, Ray loves himself some New Orleans. Did you see the tweet he put out?
He did. Him and Kellen Moore have in common.
Ray?
Yeah.
You're in love with New Orleans. Now, and I
Absolutely.
countered your tweet by saying, it's a 3-day town.
Well, I said to him off air, have you ever been there? I can't stand Bourbon Street. And Ray's like, I disagree.
I disagree wholeheartedly.
Well, he disagrees wholeheartedly. He's 24 years old.
But that's exactly what I said.
When you get a little older, you guess it's a 3-day town.
Well, you start to appreciate Frenchman Street better.
You really think like a full-time living situation you would be okay with New Orleans? No, it's more than the French
You just
Quarter.
like to visit.
I get
I
it.
had a great time down there.
Well, of course you had a great time. Everybody has a great time. That's what I'm saying. It's a 3-day town.
It's like Vegas. You're not going to live in Vegas.
No, but I don't think
I have been in New Orleans double digits.
Wow, I've been there I think 4 times.
And I get to a point where it's like my niece even got married in the French Quarter.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Like I was at the
you did the walk with the umbrella
and the
and all?
parade and the whole bit. And you'll have fun. And then by the third, and they have great restaurants. But by the third day, you go, I kind of wrung out, man. You can get maybe stretch it to 4. But that's about it.
As you get older,
fun. I mean, I don't know. I'm starting to struggle to see the drawbacks here.
As you get older,
because here's what you're thinking: drink. Like when you get older, you go, let's get some good restaurants.
Right. You'll understand when you're older, right?
I'm tired of seeing legs come out of a window.
Yeah. Women trying to pull you into the gentleman clubs.
Is it a 3-day town or just like a 3-year town when you're younger?
But I'll tell you, Frenchman Street is great. Like the live music and everything on Frenchman Street. I like that pace better than the Bourbon Street pace. But
where's your hotel?
I think I'm with you.
You're in the same hotel?
Right?
We're in the Quarter, aren't we?
We are. We got a nice spot. I think we're all in the same hotel.
Ray, I'm going to send some 20-ounce glasses of beer pictures to you.
Please do.
That's exactly what Ray wants.
$25, but you get the glass. Have a hurricane. Mike Missanelli show back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Looking at the rematch, I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. 2 years later, it's the Eagles and Chiefs matching up one more time in the Super Bowl with some of the core names remaining the same. The Eagles do return less than half of the roster that fell just 3 points shy of the Chiefs in Super Bowl 57. And look at both those teams and what went wrong the first time around. So is head coach Nick Sirianni saying he learned from that first Super Bowl appearance. Looking at the rematch.
Well, we have notes that we're going through and that we've been going through, a couple tweaks here and there, and a couple things that will stay the same. But of course, anytime you go through any situation like that, you take notes like that.
He's looking at the notes, getting his team prepared for the Super Bowl. They'll continue that preparation as they hit the practice field today. Brandon Graham potentially hit the practice field. His practice window has been open, the 21-day window from returning from injured reserve. Also, today we had Tory Smith on the show, talked about the Eagles, the expectation of the Super Bowl. He's got them as a double-digit winner. You can listen to that one more time on our website, 975thefanatic.com. Last night, Sixers won over the Kings, 4 in a row now for them, and the Flyers lost 5-0 to the Devils. This update's brought to you by Robert Half. 9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring today. Robert Half is here to help. Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com. Today, I'm Ray Dunn, the home of the 76ers and the Flyers. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Thursday, January 30th.
Yo, 97.5, The Fanatic. All right, I want to play Give Me Two with you.
Oh, boy.
You see, I don't understand why this college thing flummoxes you.
I know. I'm not as good with the colleges.
Sorry, Tanner McKee went to Stanford. Give me two, Stanford.
Andrew Luck go to Stanford?
Yes.
All right, Andrew Luck.
There's another great quarterback. Yeah, top 5 all time.
Who else went to Stanford? I'm going to go to my lifeline, Ray Dunn.
Why would you do that?
You don't know the other quarterback he's referring to?
I'm trying to think because this was general knowledge.
He's a top 5 quarterback of all time.
Was it Elway?
Yes.
Okay, that's what
I didn't know. I
John Elway.
didn't realize he went to Stanford.
Really? Yeah, I don't know about you and colleges.
You know who else went to Stanford?
Who's that?
I went to visit my cousin.
Richard Sherman.
I was in high school, and I went to visit my cousin who went to UConn, and I told all the girls there that I went to Stanford, that I played at Stanford, and I was on spring break. But then the worst part was they're like, "Oh, how long's your spring break?" I said, "Oh, 2 weeks." "Oh, you get 2 weeks?" I'm like, "Yeah."
That sounds like an Ocean Drive line. Well, that's an OD line.
I had no idea what I was talking about.
You
I
are
was like 16.
Such the beneficiary of the era in which you were that age.
Yeah, there was no social media.
You can't get away with something like that.
There was no social media.
Oh, yeah, I go to Stanford. I'm on the team.
Yeah,
There'd be immediate look up. Oh, where are you?
I was this 16-year-old kid at UConn telling me I went to Stanford and they bought it.
I remember my buddy telling a girl down the shore that he was a drummer in a rock band. I forget what the rock band he said was. She bought it.
Wait, you just reminded me. We had a violation question on the YouTube.
What's that?
Let me get back to it because it was a while ago. It's about a fantasy football thing. Okay, here we go. Bill and Mike, I need help with a potential violation. A group of guys gets together to celebrate a fantasy football league. We all used to work together, but we no longer do. Half live in New York, but we all get together. The other in High Valley. We all get together to celebrate, and one guy brought his wife who has nothing to do with the league. Is that a violation?
Yeah.
Pretty much the general consensus on the YouTube.
It's a total violation. But again, this guy, he probably has points to make with the wife, and she put the heavy pressure on him.
See, my bigger question would be for the wife. Like, why the hell would you want to hang out with a bunch of guys celebrating their fantasy
because
football?
She doesn't trust them. And if she's there, she feels if he's with the guys that she's going to have a lot of angst. So she'd rather be safe.
Wait, what movie is it where the woman thinks Paul Rudd's cheating on her, but he's really at his fantasy baseball draft?
I didn't see that movie.
You know what I'm talking about, Ray?
She's just not into you.
You don't know.
No, I don't know.
I can't remember.
Feels like a real life plot line, though.
Yeah.
Pat and Horsham. Pat, the refs favor the Chiefs,
Mike.
damn it. Don't they? Don't they favor the Chiefs, Pat?
No, it's not like that, Mike. It's not about you got to understand that they can't let a tic-tac call, just like Bill said. You know, you can't let that happen, and that's got to be reviewed, Mike. It's got to be reviewed more. There's so many people riding. You know, so many things riding on the game, Mike.
Yeah, I don't know what you're saying here. What,
What
really?
do you mean?
I don't know. What do you mean? They're not going to review it. The calls, like I said before, Pat, I wish I documented this. You know how many calls the Eagles have gotten that you don't take inventory of? You just like you think in your world the Eagles have never got a favorable call, but everybody else has. It's a typical Philadelphia thing.
Everybody has benefited from it, Mike. But in the playoffs especially and the Super Bowl, you can't have a tic-tac call like that, Mike. If that happens,
what are you talking? Are you talking about the Bradbury call,
where they got time that the time of 2 minutes was erased because they get the first down. They don't kick the field goal, and the Mahomes doesn't have the time to three-peat for those 2 minutes, right?
You're anticipating.
We didn't get to do that. We didn't get to do the Mahomes to beat him.
Are you saying that something happened last week against the Bills? Like, what are you saying here? That something's going to happen in the Super Bowl?
In the Super Bowl.
Oh, in the Super Bowl, something bad is going to happen.
First down. They would have had to kick the field goal there, right? Or go for it. And it was 4th and 8. But they gave them the call. They get the first down. They ran the clock out, Mike.
Yeah, I thought you were going to talk about the one where they didn't give it to Josh Allen. There.
Well, also, for those two things, too.
Yeah,
Allen made the first down.
I thought he made the first down, too.
He made the first down.
But I can't prove, like, it was so close that I can't prove that it was.
And that ball hit the ground, too, Mike. The ball hit the ground.
Pat, see, this is what you're doing. You're spooking yourself out of, like, enjoyment.
No.
You are, because already you're worried about them getting hosed.
Better. That's all. We got to play better. That's all. And beat the refs. This is a redemption game, Mike. It's a redemption.
All right, man.
And
Listen.
I believe in Bill.
You like
Get
Zach?
him, Pat.
I believe in
Pat,
you.
Pat, you like Zach Bryan? I'm going to give you a chance for Zach Bryan because you're a nice guy.
I know I'm going to choke.
Luke Zach Bryan. Luke Bryan. If I give you the Florida State, that's where Josh Sweat went. Give me 2 names and went to Florida State.
Wenke?
Oh, Chris Wenke. That's
pull.
awesome.
That's a great pull.
And wide receiver. Wow. So many. I can't even. I'm stumbling here.
First name Peter.
Warwick.
There you go. Hold on a second.
Warwick done.
Peter Warwick and Charlie Ward.
Yeah, those are good ones. Those are good ones.
Peter Warwick got drafted pretty high because of his punt return craziness.
So it's still amazing how many great college players can't transition to the NFL.
Chris Wenke, he was 26 when he played at Florida State.
Yeah,
he was. I think he legitimately was 26 years old.
I want to give you some more on this ref thing because you're just poo-pooing it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So Adam Schefter, Shefty, of all people, he tweeted out a couple days ago. For all of those complaining that Patrick Mahomes gets too many calls, relief soon could be on the way. The NFL Replay Assist is expected to expand this offseason into plays that could include the quarterback slide, which I've been calling for all season. But then he quote tweets himself. Penalties during the Chiefs' 8-game winning streak in the playoffs. Okay? Are you ready for this? Roughing the passer calls. There have been 0 roughing the passer calls against the Chiefs, 6 for the Chiefs. 1 unnecessary roughness call against the Chiefs, 4 for the Chiefs. This is almost mathematically impossible that you could go 8 games and have 0 roughing the passer calls in today's NFL, but have 6 of them go in your favor. It's a little ridiculous, Mike.
I think they've cheated their way to success. You've now convinced me that you can cheat to actually get to 3 straight Super Bowls. I think you can do that. Now I'm convinced. Are you insane with this nonsense?
This is coming from Adam Schefter.
Oh, Adam Schefter.
This is Shefty.
Kiss my rump.
Ray Dunn.
Adam Schefter.
Even Shefty getting in on it. And then I saw Nick Wright, or as some call him here, Nick Wrong.
That's not even clever.
I saw him. I don't know who it was who said it. Somebody at the station said it. He got all mad at Adam Schefter for this tweet. Like, how dare you? You're a voice. Because, he's a big Chiefs guy. So he can't admit. Maybe Nick Wright and Mike Miss have more in common than we thought.
Nick Wright and Mike Miss have nothing in common because I've never been a homer. I always look at it objectively because that's what I do. I don't fall into traps of the officials are against us or the Chiefs are only good because they cheat. It's ridiculous. 610-632-0975. We're coming down the home stretch of the Mike Missanelli Show. Back after this. stone violation. My God, what are they saying, Ray?
And none too pleased with this. We got like 3 or 4 basically saying, don't you dare hedge the bet. Enough is enough. Don't do it. There was only one person that actually said, go ahead and do it. Chris from Philly saying, you hedge the bet, nothing big. But there's no point not guaranteeing yourself something.
So people on the YouTube chat said I needed to clarify it more, like you need more details. So it was before the season when I bet them to win the Super Bowl, I got plus 1,300 odds. And I put $300 on it. So plus 1,300 is going to get me close to $4,000 if I win. It's a good hefty chunk of change.
Yeah.
So my question is essentially, do I put 1,000 on the Chiefs money line? So now I either win 1,000 or I'll win 3,000 instead of 4. But I'm guaranteed to win at least a G note. People are saying no to that.
I wouldn't do it. I mean, if you're that confident, you hit the first 2 planks of it. It's telling you that you're going to hit the third. So.
Well, I'm already playing with house money because I won the NFC East.
Yeah.
I won the NFC.
Yeah. So what's the payout?
Close to $4,000.
And you want to give away 1,000 of that?
That's what I'm thinking. Because then if the Eagles lose,
4,000 is better than 3.
But 1,000's better than 0.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So
it's an interesting question.
How much would you have to put how much you put down on the Chiefs?
I don't know. I was saying like if I did 1,000 on the Chiefs money line, probably pay me a little less than 1,000.
So you're giving away 1,000 right there.
Yeah, so then I'm guaranteed, no matter how the Super Bowl goes, to either win close to a G or close to 3.
I was going to create stakes here in which when the Eagles won, you would give me 1,000, but I don't think I could put up to make that happen. So I'm going to shut up now.
When you made the bet, you thought the Eagles could win the Super Bowl. So trust your instincts. All right? Chuck in North Philly. Chuck, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Chuck.
Hey, what's up, Mike? How you
What's going
doing?
on, Chuck? How you doing?
Not much. Here's my take on the whole referee thing with Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes. I think Mahomes kind of manipulate the system, kind of sort of how James Harden was with the referees getting the ticky-tack calls and everything was questionable. I don't necessarily think the refs favor the Chiefs or Mahomes, but, like, if he runs and he slides at the very last minute and you see a defensive player go head first trying to make the tackle, then you kind of leave the refs no other option but to kind of sort of throw a flag because it's so close. It's like a millisecond off from being a foul or just a close play. You know what I mean? So I don't think that they've cheated or the refs favored them to all these victories and Super Bowl appearances and stuff like that. And also, I mean, with the whole Bradbury thing, it's just you held the guy at the wrong time and point in the game, and once again, you left the refs no choice but to kind of sort of throw a flag because it was so obvious. So
they had a choice, Chuck. Come on. They didn't have to throw that flag on Bradbury.
They didn't, right? But, like, it could go either way. You damn you do, you damn you don't. It was one of them type things. And, they're gonna always kind of sort of side with the offensive player. You know what I mean? That's just the name of the game. You know what I mean? So it's like certain stuff, yes, gets uncalled, it goes unnoticed. But in certain situations, in certain moments, it's like, and the refs, they kind of be, you know what I mean? They be gung ho to throw a flag if it's questionable. It's just like, why not throw the call? I'm not going to get crucified if I don't throw it, and I'm not going to get crucified if I do. So I might as well just throw the flag. I mean,
I think officials see what they see. I don't think they take the time to evaluate it. I really don't.
Yeah, right. It's like bang bang. You know what I mean?
It is. It's like I'm not going to evaluate. Oh, it's Patrick Mahomes. I got to throw the flag. Oh, Patrick Mahomes slid late. I got to throw the flag. They see what they see.
Because think about it. They said the same thing about Brady a lot.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, they said,
and to be fair, some people have earned that right. And so, right. And it goes on in every sport. Like Bryce Harper gets away with called third strikes every now and then. All right, man.
Right. Mahomes and Ellie over here.
Let's play the game here. If I give you the Zach Bond went to Wisconsin, give me 2 from Wisconsin that you can think of. Man, you can give me 2 local guys from Wisconsin. Damn.
Hold on.
All right, go ahead.
I'm gonna give you Ryan Dane off the top.
There you go.
And you said another local guy from Wisconsin. You got me with. I'm drawing the blank.
Yeah. It was a defensive back in the heyday. He's now works for the NFL.
Not Eric Allen.
No.
Troy Vincent.
Yes.
All right, there we go.
There you go. Hold on a second, Eric. Troy Vincent.
He played at Wisconsin.
J.J. Watt. T.J. Watt. You didn't remember Troy Vincent played Wisconsin?
I did not.
Michael Richter, the goalie for the Rangers in the Hall of Fame from Germantown Academy.
I remember Richter.
Yeah, of course, you're Mr. Hockey, but you don't know anything about colleges.
Nah, not much.
All right, let's go. Eric and Fox Chase. Eric, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Eric.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
What's going on, Eric?
So, last night, get home from work around 9, and the Eagles Chiefs Super Bowl just happened to be on. So I started watching it, and I'm really confident that we're going to win. Like, I just feel like our team across the board is, especially in some key positions, is more talented. Like, especially in, like, the defensive backfield. Like, they really picked on Bradbury and Demps in that game. And, you know, it's without saying that we're definitely upgraded in them 2 positions.
You're right. No, you're absolutely right. But that doesn't take consideration how the guy doesn't make conventional pass completions either, you know?
No, he doesn't, but, you know, we're going to have to get a little bit of pressure on him, you know, and I think Carter can cause some havoc up the middle a little bit, and that's where you really have to pressure him. Up the middle.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's a good call. But again, pressure with him, he dances out of there, and pressure on him actually makes him better. Because then guys break down and they find open spaces, and he finds them.
But also, interestingly enough in that game, besides Jalen Hurts, who would you say was the leading rusher for the Eagles that game?
I don't remember. Who was it?
Well, Miles Sanders had a terrible game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Kenny Gainwell with 21 yards.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're going to tell me Barkley's not, and Miles Sanders had 17. You're going to tell me Barkley's not going to, I mean.
No, he is, but they haven't allowed a 100-yard rusher this year, have they? The Chiefs defense?
Yeah, they have.
I don't think they have.
In the playoff. Oh, 100-yard rusher. I thought you meant 100-yard rusher.
100-yard rusher.
You may be right on that.
James Cook averaged like 6.9 a yard last week against them. So
they're giving up close to 150 in the postseason per game.
Oh, okay.
But the crazy thing is, it wasn't like the Eagles had a hard time moving the football, though. Like, I understand your point, Eric, about the rushing attack, because I agree with you. But they put up 417 yards of offense. So whether they did it through the air or on the ground, it's still 400 yards.
And it was weird that also they had because I looked this up after I watched it, but we had 10 more minutes in time of possession.
Yeah, you're right. They averaged close to 36 minutes time of possession in that game, the Eagles, and Kansas City only had it for 24. I mean, across the board, the Eagles should have won this game when you look at the box score.
That's what I was taking away. The Eagles should have won that game, and I feel like we're way more talented and a better team than they are this time ago. I mean, I'm like 99%.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Eric, let me give you a last second. Give me 2 for Luke Bryan tickets. The school's Alabama.
Come on, that's too easy. I got Derrick Henry. I got, let's see, Devontae Smith. I got.
No, you can't have Devontae Smith. He's on the roster. See? It's not so easy, is it?
No. I got tons of guys. D'Amico Ryan.
All right, D'Amico Ryan.
I would give
good
him.
enough.
But, Mike, here's the crazy thing. Eric looked back at that Super Bowl, and we were talking about the box score, and you look at it and say, the Eagles should have won that game. I guarantee you, probably 17 games this year, the opponent against the Chiefs said, we should have won that game. There's something crazy about Patrick Mahomes and these Kansas City Chiefs team. You look at almost every game. They should have lost that game.
That's what I've been saying all week. So we'll see how I feel next week about that. It's time for closing arguments.
Now, closing arguments on the Mike Missanelli Show. Brought to you by Lowenthal and Abrams Injury Attorneys. Injured in an accident, call 800-876-LAWYER or visit lowenthalabrams.com.
My closing argument is the evolution of the opinion on Nick Sirianni in this town. And I read a story today that had a little heading that said, how will Kansas City cope with the indomitable genius of Nick Sirianni? If there's one thing Sirianni's known for, it's his mastery of the game preparation and his keen sense of how to attack an opponent. My man's rep has gone from apprentice oil changer to master mechanic all of a sudden, even within the Philadelphia media. So, listen, he's 9-1 in these kind of situations where he has time to prepare. Who am I to say that he won't get it done for the 10th time?
I'm just happy that people are finally starting to listen to me, Mike, because that wasn't the National Enquirer who wrote that article. That was the Philadelphia Inquirer. That was a real headline. That was a real article calling Nick Sirianni a genius, something I've never even called him. But when we looked at the evolution of how the Philadelphia Eagles got to this point, we talked a lot about Fangio. We talked a lot about Sirianni, talked about the culture. I just want to give my flowers again to someone I'm not sure we're praising enough, and that is Howie Roseman. I was extremely critical of him last season. I was critical of him this offseason in making the decision to roll the dice again at the linebacker position. But Howie Roseman, what he's done in the draft the last few years, what he did this offseason, I'm blown away. Howie Roseman may be the sole reason that this team, not sole reason, but top reason that this team is back in the Super Bowl 2 years later.
Well, it's well said, and we're both feeling good about the coach and the hierarchy. All right, so the winner of a pair of Luke Bryan tickets, and you're going to see Luke Bryan on his Country Song Came on tour Friday, June 6th at Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. For another chance to win the tickets, if you missed out today, go to the contest page at 975thefanatic.com. Tickets go on sale tomorrow, and they're on sale right now with the pre-sale with the password Octave. So who was our winner today? It was Patrick Horan. Congratulations to Patrick Horan. You're going to see Luke Bryan at the Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. Congratulations. Thanks, everybody, for listening to today's show. Be safe out there, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.